Thundergrunt.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
What does he want?
It's not what I want, it's what I can give you.
Well, I've watched 60 Minutes, and I'm saying to myself, they're motivated. They're happening, i.e. they want something. Maybe it's because you're pissed off, or maybe it's because the jockeys. That's none of my business.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
Hey, business is business. You use a gun, I use a fountain pen. What's the difference? Let's put it in my terms. You're in a hostile takeover. You snatch us up for some green mail, but you're not expecting some poison pill to be running around the building. Am I right? Hans, Booby, I'm your white knight.
I'm Mr. Miss 60 Minutes. What are you saying?
You know that guy that's fucking things up upstairs?
I can't give him to you.
A small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars when the psychedelic monk said, I'll take two, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue, and he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies, and the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gym, but if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc. I'm your host, Bob Rose, and with me is Matt P.A. And with us today is returning guest of the show, Nick Baldwin. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great.
That's great. We are glad to have you back because out of all of our guests that we've ever had on the show, you're the only one where we've ever lost an entire episode.
It's true.
You recorded an episode and it got completely lost.
What was the movie?
I forget. It was some.
I don't remember what it was called.
A Louis Gossett Jr. movie.
Yeah,
that
it was like a nuclear missile that became sentient or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember? It was great.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed watching it.
It was a pretty good episode too.
Yeah.
And it's gone forever. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm glad none of us remember the name.
Technically,
of the movie.
the next one I did was the makeup apology one. So it's
which
done.
was Knock Knock.
Which
right.
is not, yeah. So
the other
that's
one.
that hatchet is buried.
But we, yeah.
What a
but we
great
brought you back for our Christmas episode.
Unintentional Christmas episode.
Yeah, unintentional Christmas episode. And we got to watch a real great Christmas movie, which was almost Die Hard.
It wasn't a Christmas.
Yeah.
It wanted to be Die Hard.
If there was any speck of Christmas,
It might as well have
it
been. It could have been a
Die Hard.
Christmas movie. It could
It
have
could
just
have had
been.
a tree.
It wouldn't
Just
have
a
mattered.
tree.
From the
Yeah.
door to the building,
It
man.
didn't
Like,
matter.
Who cares?
We didn't know when it took place or
Yeah.
when, what time of year it took place. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
The movie we watched was Cyberjack, the 1995 cyber thriller,
AKA Digital Assassin.
Digital Assassin,
Cyber thriller.
starring Brion James, Michael Dudikoff, and the Busy Bee guy from Best in Show. I can't believe that was him.
Yeah.
I can't believe you recognized him like that.
No,
like
he's pretty
He's in a
immediately.
lot of, like
He's
I
in a
said,
lot
we
of
looked him
stuff.
up. He's in 167 movies. I was like, I've seen this guy a lot.
Just that you recognize that he was like one of those guys like right away. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like halfway through the
Yeah.
movie you were like, hey, wait a second.
Well, he's got a weird shaped head. He always has like a flat top.
yeah.
Like I don't know. He's got a very big kind of flat toppy
Yeah.
square head.
He's recognizable.
Yeah.
His voice actually is
evident.
what made me realize
Oh.
it
He
was
did a lot of
him.
voice acting. He's done a bunch of like
Yeah.
DC cartoons and stuff.
He was second ever gig. Bill and
This
Ted.
movie,
That's right, Bill and Ted.
this movie's special, and we didn't know it because this is the first movie of the director who I forgot his fucking name already.
Robert Lee.
You remember? Okay, good. Robert Lee, and the last movie he made is one of Matt's favorites, which is
So good.
Absolute Zero,
It's fantastic.
which we have promised on this show.
Oh, yeah.
We will do at some point. I have the DVD in the other room.
Would I have heard of this, or is this
hell
like some
no.
just
No,
crazy
no,
obscure
no,
thing?
It's the-
Okay.
It's like a
disaster
Sci-Fi
movie.
Channel disaster
it's
movie.
so good though.
But it's the same director, and we're going to do it on this show at some point.
How close? When did that come out? How close is that in his career
It's
to
like
this movie we watched?
2009 or 11.
So it's
or
well,
something.
well after this one.
That's the end of his career. We're doing the beginning, right
Great,
now.
fantastic.
So maybe the next episode should be Absolute Zero.
Yeah,
It'll be
that's a
cold
good idea.
outside.
Yeah.
As you know, we love to celebrate the season of release. Okay.
And
Anyway,
it's actually warm down here, which is
it's we got the
cozy.
heat turned up. So
That's great.
for the bonus disc house.
Like I knew
Pretty
we
comfortable.
would-
bonus
cozy.
disc house. Yeah. Okay, so Cyberjack. How does it
Yeah.
begin?
Opens with a pretty awesome looking flying
Flying
it's called a
spaceship.
sky bus. We'll
A
find
sky
out
bus, yeah.
later, but
It's not a spaceship. I keep calling it a spaceship, but it's not a spaceship.
It's not. It's a sky bus.
Yeah.
It opens with it opens on the shot of like this sky bus going towards like a digital city.
Yeah,
it kind of looks
very
like it's
Blade Runner-esque
very-
kind of thing.
Yeah, like the opening
looks
is
great.
pretty
It
damn
looks-
great. Like I actually had like really. I actually was like maybe at the beginning I was like maybe we should have picked a worse movie.
Yeah.
or a different movie because it's almost
Right.
like good at the
The
beginning.
effects,
Yeah,
all the effects are
all the
kinda-
Yeah.
visuals, even like through the whole thing, like it's the lighting and stuff, like it looks fine.
Yeah, it's shot fine.
Yeah.
The effects are good. It's just the choices.
That's what I was telling you before.
We'll get to it.
specifically,
We'll
yeah.
get to that. But,
You're right.
but
Yeah.
it's like the sky bus, which is like it looks like a big Twinkie with. It's Twinkie
Yeah.
shaped.
Yeah, it's like a VTOL.
And
It's got the engines that.
facing downward, kind of
Yeah.
steering it, and it's going through a city.
Is that
and
the
it-
ship from Alien? That's what it's called, a VTOL?
No, VTOL is just vertical takeoff and landing.
Oh.
I've
Yeah.
had no clue that that was that.
Well, I was gonna say
And you
it
look
looks
at
like
your
this.
face.
We have those in
should
real
have
life,
known.
guys.
Like,
Come on.
assholes. Don't know what VTOL is.
We get to see it fly through a digital billboard or a "Welcome to the City" billboard.
No, it's like a-
That is,
like
I
a
don't
city
understand that.
limits.
Why
It's
is
like-
it
yeah,
designed
yeah.
for you to fly through the sign?
because it's a hologram.
Why couldn't it just be like a mail slot type thing where it can be like the hologram and then you fly? Why do you have to fly through it? Because now
I'm
you can't see
thinking-
what's on the other side of
I'm
the thing.
thinking they scan you as you go through it because it said like you're now.
Oh, they're just
entering the,
using
like,
that as
whatever
ad space.
Zone.
What they have to fly through anyway.
Did
They
it
just might as
say-
well
Well, it
make
wasn't
it.
an ad. It was like it
said, like,
you
welcome.
are now entering this zone.
Yeah.
and they flew through it.
So we don't even know what city this took place in,
No,
right?
it was
They
like
never
called,
say.
like,
Not notice.
region zone or something, which means
Region
so awesome.
zone.
I know it's
Region
like
zone
super
perimeter area.
Ah, yeah.
It doesn't matter at all.
I can't remember what it said. It was the
I
something.
think they
zone.
deliberately never said anything about the location they never said what year it was.
Needless to say, it's quite a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, it looks great.
It's pretty
awesome.
nicely produced,
Yeah.
and it cuts hard
Oh yeah,
to
it
like
immediately
a street shot
Yeah.
of a motorcycle driving down the street.
a normal
Chased by-
motorcycle
Instantly, the whole movie like production
being
value
chased. Yeah,
changes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's a normal motorcycle being chased by a normal car.
It's like a Chevy Cavalier police car.
I think they're driving a Mustang. The police cars are
Oh,
Mustangs.
dude, it wasn't that nice. It was like a
No, it was.
We'll look back.
consumer
We'll
vehicle.
double check.
Yeah, I think it was actually a nice. I think it was
Because
Oh,
the
man, I
cop cars,
remember it looking like a
cars
Chevy
were. His
Cavalier.
car was
Yeah.
shit. The cop car
I
was
know
different
that,
than his
but
car.
I mean a Chevy Cavalier from like 2001.
right.
It just looked.
We'll find out later. It's not.
doesn't
It's not
matter.
important. It doesn't matter.
It's not very. It doesn't look good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the sky bus.
No, it's not.
like
It's
a
not a
normal ass
Blade.
looking
Imagine
car.
going
Yeah.
from Blade Runner and then it's like all of a sudden it's like
An
Tango and
episode of
Cash.
Highlander.
Right.
Come on.
Renegade at night. Yeah, it was just like it's a hard hit to the production value.
Right.
So then that's Michael Dudikoff and his partner,
His partner.
Nancy.
Nance.
I can't believe I remember her name.
Yeah, that's pretty
Nance.
good. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
They're chasing. Yeah, they're
I didn't
chasing.
remember her name, so
I'm shocked.
They're chasing the motorcycle guy.
he's throwing grenades at them, but he's
They
like,
call
what
them
are-
vapor bombs.
He's like, he
Vapor
asked
bombs.
her what they are, and she's like, they're vape bombs. Wouldn't he?
vapor.
Vapor bombs.
Vapor bombs. They're not
They don't
vape
appear to.
bombs.
They don't appear to do anything, but he's dodging them anyway.
I think they're just for like vision.
Yeah, like literally just smoke
orientation.
bombs. Yeah.
No, because they look like the things the other guy uses later, and it burns his leg. Pretty.
Well, they have an initial spark.
Who knows?
I don't know, man. They're vapor bombs.
They're vapor
I don't know
bombs.
what a vapor bomb
They were called.
is.
These specifically were vapor bombs. So he's Michael
He-
Dudikoff is dodging all around the vapor
And
bombs.
she's like, "Oh, you're good." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." They're like very.
She's like,
cavalier.
don't show up. Yeah, they're like they're quipping one-liners back at each other constantly.
Not good.
They're having a lot of fun.
Oh no, it's not funny. It's very lifeless. It's
Yeah, it's not funny.
They look terrible too. The lighting on their faces in the
Fuck, man.
car.
The dash is like the surface of the sun,
yeah.
just like casting up at
Yeah.
them. Like I can't believe they can even see the fucking road. It's like somebody put a flashlight right in their goddamn eyes.
They look sick.
Michael Dudikoff looks terrible.
He looks really bad.
He looks really bad. It's like the opening shot of him, and you're just like, ugh.
What happened, dude?
What is that? What is your neck? What's up with your neck?
You're the American Ninja, man. Have some pride. And so they ended up, they stopped the guy, right? Like they
corner him in. They corner him in a bunch of shipping containers.
Yeah, but somehow they are tracking him.
Yeah.
He goes, no, look, he's on the screen.
Oh yeah, because
they had like a
the
fucking
bike
like
turns down in a thin alley between the shipping containers, and they pass me. He's like, don't worry, he's on the tracking thing.
yeah,
And
like an alien-esque like
why
kind
are
of
you
like
chasing him in
tracking
the first
radar
place?
thing.
Just wait till he gets to a destination and then get him there.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How are you just tracking him?
They also didn't. This bugged me. I didn't say anything at the time because it wasn't that so important. But they didn't like bother to like knock over his motor. They park right in front of his motorcycle. They don't bother to like knock it over or take the keys so he can't escape or anything.
I was
they
like,
just leave it running right there.
I was thinking that when we watched, I was like, why do people never just like slash a tire on something when they come to the bad guy's
at least
car?
like knock it over
just in case he gets away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Prepare.
Just in case.
Maybe it's the adrenaline.
Well,
they're not thinking about
their training wasn't
Well,
very
there's
fucking
two
good
of
because they're saying
For a movie,
one-liners
it's
the whole
probably
time. They're
'cause they
sneaking up
don't
on
want to
him.
destroy the tire. It's just more money. It's just more money.
That's where they drew the line in this budget.
Yeah, they were
a
like,
tire side. Oh
dude,
no,
whoa!
can't fit a motorcycle tire
Do you
in
know
there.
what that model shit costs?
They
It's
cut
like,
a lot of corners on costumes.
just to get the sky buses.
Just, for the sky. They paid a lot for the sky bus.
The sky bus and
It paid off.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I also believe they didn't do it because their training was apparently really shitty. Because as they're trying to corner him and like sneak around, they're quipping one-liners at each other.
Yeah.
Like the lady's like, or Nance is like, oh hey, like what is hey Nick, what does a rat say, or what happens when you corner a rat? And he's like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm gonna find out. And I'm like, shut up!
Shut up!
You're trying to sneak up on a motherfucker, and you're just like, what? Like they're talking
We watched
this
over
volume.
their radio.
Yeah.
So many of these fucking movies, and the buddy cop thing was so rampant. And then you know what I mean? How many movies these we watched where they try to add the banter, and it's just like, it's not Lethal Weapon. Stop.
Yeah.
But they're also what's about to occur.
They could have had.
They had to like.
Right.
They didn't have much time to establish a
They
relationship.
have a relationship.
You know what I mean?
These two people care about each other. All right.
Yeah.
They make rat jokes. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because then that's when we're introduced to Brion James. Nassim.
Yeah.
And
the
he's-
great Brion James from
he's-
Blade Runner.
From Blade Runner.
Yeah. And
He's-
Cabin Boy.
He's got
Yeah.
always from Cabin Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got the cop like held with her own gun, and Michael Dudikoff's got his gun.
Classic
gun drawn on
standoff.
him. Classic standoff.
He's got his dirty hairy gun. Not even dirty hairy.
Yeah.
It's like a
She has, like, a
revolver.
Which is the
future gun.
first introduction to why are some things future-y in this movie and others
Why would
totally
the cops
not.
have
The cop
regular guns?
has like a fucking revolver, and he's got
some
Nassim has like a space
cylindrical,
fucking, like a Blade Runner pistol.
etched pistol thing.
Well, that was the other cops. That was,
Was
her
it? I
gun.
just thought it was-
Yeah,
I
he
thought it
took
was
her
his.
gun. No.
Either way, it's not
Maybe-
consistent. So
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't matter.
it's more
Yeah.
insane because that was the other cop's gun, was like a future gun, and he had a fucking
Just like a revolver.
bullet.
Yeah. Just a normal
They had
bullet.
laser
Long
cannons.
story
God
short-
damn it.
so he basically doesn't take the shot. He doesn't shoot Brion James, and
He puts it. Not only does he not take the shot, he puts his gun all the way
They
down.
held him down, and then he just shoots her right in the head.
Yep.
Immediately.
It's so cold too. It's really.
This movie gets
cold.
pretty brutal.
He
It's
is
pretty
a
brutal.
harsh motherfucker,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like a bowler hat. He kind of looks like
No, he's wearing one of those, I think.
Yeah, he's got like one of
what
these,
is
like
that
a
called?
like a
What is-
pub cap kind
a
of
pub
thing.
cap.
Yeah.
Okay. A pub cap.
Because it's hiding his
Brion
hair.
James is also from Crime Wave. Let's not forget.
One of my favorite movies
I know.
of all
I was gonna
time.
say he's in Crime Wave.
His voice in
Wave.
Crime Wave is great.
Right.
I thought he was almost doing that. His first couple lines
This
in this
kinda
almost
sounds like
because
it.
he was like, "Hey!" I
Yeah,
was like,
he was
"Alright."
very like street gangster, like man, put your gun down.
But I just want to say, the way he looks is he's wearing a pub cap,
Yeah,
and his hair is like dark, and he
Yeah.
looks like he's wearing
And it's, like, long and
clown-
curly.
like white clown. Not,
He's very-
He just looks
Yeah,
bad.
he
he's
looks
very
bad.
pale made
Everyone
up.
in this opening looks sick. They
yeah.
look not okay.
like absolutely ill.
Yeah.
That's what future people look like.
Like they
I
all
guess.
have tuberculosis and they just got out of the
At
hospital.
this point, you're like, maybe that is what everybody looks like. Maybe it's gonna be some kind of like everybody's always sick all the time, and then like government's
we don't
keeping them
really know the
dependent on. We
plot.
don't know what's going on yet. But then, like 2 minutes later, you find out no, they just look like shit.
Well, he shoots her,
In
and
the
then
head,
and then
Michael
Dudikoff wakes up in his Fifth Element apartment.
It was a nightmare.
It was all red. His all red apartment.
And he's
with-
sopping
It's
wet
not an
and
apartment,
looking
it's like a
really
trailer.
good. Like he just got finished a workout.
Yeah, he looks better as
lighting's better.
a like emotionally crippled alcoholic than
Yeah.
he did when he was a police officer.
Yeah.
God, the lighting was so bad though in the first scene.
It was, who knows what he really looked like? I don't know.
I think they were just trying to disguise what the fucking, like, just what that whole area looked like. Because that's seemed to be a running theme in the aesthetic that was going on. Not showing where the fuck anybody
Anyone
is.
Jesus Christ,
No, they
yeah.
could have filmed this in a room with just black walls.
They fucking might
No,
have.
they-
Half
they
these scenes
did.
might have just been
They
on a goddamn
filmed, like,
soundstage.
Yeah, they filmed a third of the last half of the movie in just black
Yeah.
rooms.
Yeah,
They spent all the budget on the fucking Skybus.
sky.
They were like, and then there's the big showdown at the thing, and then it's like, no, we can get you a black room. How's
we can
that?
put anything in the black room you want.
Yeah, just whatever.
Uh,
Anyway, we'll get there.
Okay, so
We're
he
always
wakes
getting ahead of
up,
ourselves.
He pours himself a drink of whiskey. He
looks
drinks it, he looks
outside.
out the window, and it's
Yeah,
there's all kinds of ungodly like spaceship noises.
yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's
I
very like
thought-
it's
I
like
thought-
Fifth
I
Element.
said the Fifth Element thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
He looks
I
out his
thought it
window
was
and it's like
gonna be
goddamn
that.
like Future City.
but it's
But it
not.
isn't. It's
right
just
there
that
for
Airbus. There's
now.
one
Yeah.
fucking Airbus. There's one fucking Airbus.
It's an effect duplicated.
The future sucks.
You could put a ton of those Airbus. You just needed one and just replicate them.
Yeah, well, I
or
think throughout the
something,
movie
yeah.
there is supposed to be we're seeing a couple.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
It's fine.
Well, because one of them, we'll get to it.
Is it so he's going to work?
Well, that's
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it.
He's going to work, so you don't know what his work is yet. He pulls up in front of this like
Very
very standardized mega
So, yeah,
corporation.
Quantum.
He
Quantum.
is pulling up in like a car from the 70s.
Yeah.
There's like a car from the 80s in the parking lot. No future
No
shit
future
in
cars.
sight.
It's not like I feel
And
like
he's
they-
like walking to this building. We were all like, "What? Where the
Did we
fuck
just
is
go?
this?"
Did we just had? Was he dreaming of the future and
Yeah,
we
did we
ended
go
up
back
in
in
the
time?
past?
Like,
Like, what happened?
is
here?
this supposed to be current day? Yeah, and
This
that was
looks
all like
Ferris
some kind
Bueller's
of
neighborhood. What is happening? Yeah.
It's really weird, man.
yeah. It's like I think they wanted it to be like kind of like this Demolition Man type, like everything is the future, but really it's all normal, just like we have it now. Like there's not really a difference.
It's
It
just
just looks
sort of different.
It's just but it's like it makes no sense.
Like laser guns. We have
Yeah.
laser guns.
Yeah,
but not
at this point,
everyone has
yeah.
laser guns.
Yeah.
Well, he walks up to the building and it's like, "You have entered a secure perimeter.
Yeah.
Identify yourself." And he gets like an eye scan.
Yeah, and like
And
It's
there's
like
a
a
laser
laser
gun.
It's a Century laser gun that is like an Ed 209 ripoff.
but it has a woman's voice.
It's a woman's voice.
Yeah.
And-
It scans his eyes.
And she's like, "You are granted entrance to the building, Mr.
Yeah.
James." And he's like, "Thank you." Right? He
No, it
says-
addresses him by his first name, which is
Okay,
why
Nick.
it's like weird because he's
and
like,
he looks at
"Have
it.
a good day, Nick," and then he's just like gives it like a like, "How dare you?
I'm an alcoholic. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
How dare you, machine? Call me by my first
Right.
name."
Oh wait, did he already get the call from the guy? Yes.
Oh, Shrek.
Yes. Nah. Yes.
Yeah,
Shrek's
that happens
guy-
when
Shrek
before he
is the
left.
That's a
car,
storyline
yes.
that goes nowhere.
Oh, we forgot about
Absolutely
that.
nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere.
And when he wakes up before he goes to work, he finds you
He
learn
gets,
that
like, a
he like
video
owes
screen.
he
gets
owns
a call
like
from Shrek.
he gets a call from a guy named Shrek, and you find out that he
Owes a
he
bunch
owes
of
him
money.
money from betting on baseball games.
That's right, because he was talking. They did talk about baseball in the.
Yeah,
locker
that's
room.
how he was betting on baseball games, and that's when that starts.
He owes
Oh, yeah, he was like-
$10,000.
Yeah, he was-
$10,000, which in this we don't know how much that actually is in
Yeah,
this
is that
world.
a lot or
That could be
what?
like it could be like just more than he can get, which could be like $500.
Well, he.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna learn he's destitute. I mean,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
is.
He's
so-
complete.
But he
Yeah,
has
he
a
lives
really
in the tiny
nice
little
car.
trailer. I don't know if it was nice.
It was. It was a Chevy
the
Malibu.
70s,
It's like
it was
a
nice.
78.
Who knows in this
Chevy
fucking world? There's
Malibu.
a
It's pretty
goddamn
cool.
Skybus. That could be a piece of
Anyway,
shit car.
he
That
gets
means
the
nothing.
eye scan. He walks in and he has banter with the guard at the front desk,
Yes,
Yeah.
Jimmy.
who tells him to look at a female
Or
scientist.
Johnny.
He tells him to look at a female
The
scientist's ass.
security guard.
Yes. Dude, that security guard was fucking trying so hard to
Hard
get
to
her
make it-
attention. He's like, "Good morning, doctor," whatever. And she's like signing the thing, and Dr. Rose, and she walks by, and he's
Well, here's
like,
what's
"Do you
weird.
need anything, Dr. Rose?"
He tells her she can enter, which is fucking weird because isn't that what the fucking door does when it scans you when you come in? Because he goes, "You can go in now, Dr. Rose," whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
and then she
That's
walks
why
on.
she's
and he says-
ignoring him, because he's a creep. He doesn't need to be talking to her.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be saying any of that. She's like, I've been working here for fucking 10 years and I'm done listening to this man. He doesn't even exist.
He uses the same inflection every time he says the same thing
wish
every
he was
day.
dead.
I wish he was dead.
I forget what he says. Why he tells him he has to check her out because scientists.
He goes, so you know what
they say about
science
scientists?
women or whatever.
Computer programmers.
Computer programmers. What is it? I don't
He's
even
like,
remember.
you
It
say,
was so stupid.
you just talk a little bit of algebra to get, then they'll do anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Like
right.
the joke
They'll
itself.
help you if you like math.
The
pretty much,
joke itself doesn't have anything. You could slip anything in there. But like, you know what they say about mechanics? Just start talking about wrenches, and then they'll get all worked up. He's just like saying,
Yeah,
say what they
nothing.
do for a job, and they'll get
yeah.
horny. It doesn't make any sense.
That's why he gets fucking.
It's not a computer programmer specific joke. In case anybody was waiting for the big punchline, that was like something about who knows. I don't know where you could go with that.
I don't.
They should have just not had it.
This is when we're introduced to the lab, right?
The lab.
The
'Cause
lab. So this lobby looked.
Yeah, because we
like
leave them
what?
just like still at the desk.
Well,
Lobby?
The
What
lobby
lobby
looks.
How did it look?
It looks like an insurance commercial from
looked
Die
It looks like a
Hard.
normal
building.
lobby.
It looked like a building any
Looked
of us
like
could walk into on any day.
Faceless lobby.
It immediately cuts to the lab, which looks like it's on the fucking Death Star. Everything is like white girders with black sliding space doors.
No, the door
is
isn't even
incredible.
The door is not two rectangles. It is like two giant triangle blades
Yeah.
that like open, slide downwards
Yeah.
to reveal a door. It's awesome
Yeah.
looking.
It's like two triangles on like a pentagonal door that just like
yeah,
like
if you
all the way
saw the
down.
building, you'd be like, "That's like a
But
shitty strip
like the
mall."
front,
And
the
then-
fucking front door is just like a glass door. It's like, oh, it's just a push or a pull. Like,
But with the lab where they're making computer viruses is like nuts.
I'm surprised it didn't like blow steam when they walked through it. Just like,
Yeah, there's those windows in movies like this that are just white lights. You
Yeah.
know, like from 2001.
For some
or
reason,
something.
yeah,
It's
instead
just
of, like,
what
lights-
is- why
yeah.
is it like that?
that's what. Yeah, the whole time I'm like,
Lab, isn't it?
whoever they hired to light this place is a fucking idiot.
The floors are lit up and shit. Like,
It's
what
like,
do you
I've
need
got a-
illumination from the bottom?
I've got a great idea. What if all of the light in this room for all of us to see was just like this one wall? But it's like just triangles cut out of it, and they're like, that's fucking
This will be
scientific
an
as fuck.
octagon filled with light panels.
Look at all of this geometry.
That's like right next to the door. We're working over
Lunatics
there.
built this building. The ducts are like 4 feet wide.
And like,
Hey,
What the hell?
It still could have been like I love stuff like okay, so this is not fair to compare them at all, but like in like Beyond the Black Rainbow, everything is like this retro-y, future-y, so it is like the lighting is ridiculous, but it totally
God
works like
damn it.
functionally for like a scientific lab, because it's like everything glows in that fucking movie, and you're like, that's ludicrous. Who the fuck would do that? But at least like that works within the.
There's
Like,
a
it's
consistency
practic-
problem
it's
here.
practical.
No
Yeah.
consistency in what's going on in this movie. It's so crazy.
Yeah. You can have crazy bullshit science lab lighting that also makes sense.
I mean,
this does not.
In their defense, they found this set from something else. This was not.
It had
built-
to. Good God.
Yeah.
They found it was like Star Trek was throwing it
I'm
out,
telling-
and they were
that's-
like, "Okay,
That's why all
it's now our biological
half of
virus
this
lab."
movie,
Okay.
half of this movie, they just sent people into like the back room of the studio, and we're just like, grab future shit, grab some sci-fi shit, just do that.
And this is he's sweeping up in here, right? And this is
Yeah.
where they explain what they're doing.
This is the exposition.
The exposition, which is it's a daughter and her dad. What?
Yeah, he
wasn't there
is.
Yet?
He's sweeping up because then he just like kind of pops up from behind the
No,
fucking
that's
desk.
right.
That's
Matt's
later. That's later after
Well,
the console.
I forget what is the.
It just cuts
The
to a bunch
investor
of
is there.
scientists.
What's the
her
woman's
name's
name?
Dr. Rose at this
Dr.
point. She
Rose.
hasn't said her first name.
It's her and her father. We're gonna find out it's her father, and he is explaining that it's a virus that is. It is merged with human
They're
brain.
showing it to a Japanese investor.
Right,
Yes,
and it's
Because-
merged with human brain.
it's a
tissue.
biological virus mixed with a computer
Or
virus.
virus.
It's a virus in both senses.
It's a green glowing thing in a
Yeah.
tube that is held in there
It
by
looks
a
like-
magnetic force
Somehow
field.
made
Yeah.
by computers and
Yeah.
brains.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. They just said we made
He
green
says
shit.
he
that
does
can
say
kill things.
specifically, which almost I wish they just didn't because it was stupider when he specified. He says like, oh, like we actually like Jurassic Park's like injected it into he says some bullshit term like helical something, because like it's supposed to be DNA, so like a helix, I guess. But he's like, it's a helical. We just injected computer virus into it, so it's like it would have been better if you just said we merged the two, like, because at least then he could be like, oh, we're explaining it to this investor, he's not going to know what that is. But instead, they try to sound all sciencey, and it just sounds fucking idiotic.
So they're trying to create artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
No,
that's
what it,
right.
Kind of what it is. It's a computer virus that goes into a computer, doesn't do all the terrible shit that's possible, but finds it.
It's supposed to be like a fucking debugging system,
can't happen.
basically.
Yeah, it's like an antivirus system.
Yeah, it's an antivirus virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes in, it finds
Which
everything wrong. It
that is a
fixes
thing.
it,
That's a thing
locks
that
it in.
exists.
No, it's an antivirus. That's fine. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They call it a virus in the movie though, but this is 95. They probably that term antivirus probably wasn't like as big on computer stuff.
And for
When
some
was
reason
the
to do
first-
this, it needs to be part biological.
Because it needs to be sentient, sort of, I guess.
Yeah, because it needs to come back. That's what they keep saying. It has to come. It comes back.
As soon as they said that, did you guys think that it was going to have its own personality? I thought that that's where
it was going to be like a HAL type
yeah,
thing.
it was going to be like the virus itself was going to have its own sentience in the movie and talk and shit through a computer, and none of that happened. For a biological
like they like injected. That would have been cool.
But it was
that would
just
have
like
been cool. They like
brain
injected.
fluid or something.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
it
like
was brain
injected
fluid.
into a system, and it's like, oh,
Well, I
what
thought
are
it
you
was gonna
seeing? And it's
become
like, well,
sentient.
son, or like, sir, like, I gotta tell you, like, there's lots of different things going on in here. Woo, boy, it's a mess.
Man,
Like,
you guys are fucked.
yeah. But it's not that way.
Wait a minute.
So
Okay,
that's the
she's-
exposition scene.
Well,
and
yeah,
then,
the doctor's selling it to the dude, and then all of a sudden Rose pipes up, and she's like, "Sometimes." Or something like that, and they're like, what?
oh, she's worried about
He's
how
like-
stable
yeah.
it is.
She's like, it's unstable.
Theoretically, is what she says.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
She keeps saying it's like
She chimes in.
unstable, and
Mhm.
she probably shouldn't use it because it could destroy every computer system on Earth.
She explains that like 20% of the currently as they have it, 20% of the time it ends up it finds the things it's supposed to fix, and then it actually attacks them as a virus. And by the time they can shut it down, it'll destroy a whopping 1.6 gigabytes of data.
Whoa!
Watch out!
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Which in 95 was kind of a
That was
shitload.
a lot of data.
It's
Yeah.
kind of sad now. I mean, but yeah.
But this is supposed to be all future-y.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't, whatever.
My
Who
phone
cares?
has like 160.
Yeah.
It's insane
And
if you think about it.
That's like 12 years later. or
Yeah. 12? This is
Or 20
2017,
27,
Nick.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay, what
You know what they say about starting math with a who cares?
Okay, where were we?
Yeah, she explains that it's bullshit sometimes, and the science or the investor's still just kind of like, well, it sounds cool.
He
though.
basically just goes, "Well, then fix it." And then
Yeah, well,
he's like,
just
"Okay."
make it not do that, and I want it. And they leave, and you're like, dude, fuck, go to hell, movie. And then that's when he's leaving work, and he walks out to his car, and
Oh, yeah.
she's in the car next to his, and she also, despite being a fucking like
Scientist in
a sentient virus doctor for fucking a huge corporation,
in
she
Skybus
drives
City.
like an 88 Celica. And you're like, go fuck yourself. What is this? And she's like, I know a lot. I can like rebuild an IBM
you have
server.
to assume that was taking place like in they're assuming it's taking place like now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that far in the
guess,
future. It's
yeah.
like their 2017.
But no,
A Celica now to find one to refurbish it would be so problematic and expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I don't understand
she also-
why they couldn't have just futured up the cars a little bit.
Well,
Make 'em
they
look
do
all-
right here with a bullshit line where he goes, pop the hood, and he
because she
tries-
says, I'm a
Yes.
scientist, but I can't fix a dead
She
battery.
says that
Yeah.
line though. She doesn't say dead battery. She goes, I can rebuild like a server in like under 30 minutes, but put an electric motor in front of me.
An
and I
electric
don't know.
battery. I think she even
No,
says
she
battery.
says electric motor.
Oh, really?
And she's like, I don't know. So they are. I
know.
I'm losing my mind trying to figure out what I'm supposed to think that car is because
Yeah.
it looks like a piece of shit, and it's supposed to be in the future, and it's something I wouldn't have driven when this came out in 1995. Come on!
You almost wanted him to look at her and go, when she said, I can't fix a combustion engine, you go like,
Yeah.
then invent
It
something
wasn't a-
better. That's your job.
They did, and they still suck.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I do like movies where they still make the future shitty.
Yeah,
I do that. Yeah, I wish they.
I think
like,
that's fine. I
I
like
wish,
the whole
Nick
like.
said, they put a bunch of panels on the car that looks all crappy, but it's supposed to
Yeah.
look like the future.
Yeah, just make it like Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I
like
mean?
that,
Just
yeah.
cover them in some bullshit. Make them look like
Yeah.
they're at Artscape. You know what I mean? Like,
Just fucking solder metal to things. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
And you know
cares?
they could have done that like to make everything like it's supposed to be shitty by also, and I think it would have been more interesting if instead of this being like some super successful megacorp is developing this thing, it's like some kind of weird startup and the people that are making the virus thing are like, man, we're on something big here. We're gonna sell this and
They
it's
have
gonna
to
be our
rewrite
thing.
the security system in the building, though. Probably that building was nice.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Inside.
yeah, it was.
yeah.
It had laser guns.
it did have the laser gun.
Yeah, the
security.
startup wouldn't have a laser
Yeah,
gun.
it would
So
ruin. It would
anyway-
ruin half of. It would ruin half of the hallway chases because they couldn't be in the facility. The big facility. They'd have to be in.
Of
Yeah.
stuff. Of
The
abysses, of
facility.
black abysses in every room.
Dude, they had. We'll get to it. That fucking hallway.
The hallways.
There's
amazing.
two hallways that made me like angry when I think
Yeah, they're
about
great.
someone had to build this building and it was supposed to be functional for science.
People are
and
supposed to
you
be
just, like,
working here.
Go to hell, dude.
Should we build?
We'll get to it. All
Yeah, I
right.
know we can't ruin it.
So he looks at her engine and he's like, "Well, your remote's shot." And she's
Yeah,
like,
your remote is
What's
shot.
a remote? And he goes, "That's the thing next to your capacitor, which is also shot."
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you got any ideas?" And then it cuts to them driving together in the car.
In his car.
And it's in a neighborhood, like a
Yeah, in a totally
normal-
non-future
just
neighborhood.
plants and trees and
Yep.
kids playing with a stick and a ball.
Normal street.
And they talk about baseball, and they love.
They
the
don't even, like-
Neptunes,
they don't
which
even
you were
slip
like,
in a-
why is the baseball sound like the future, but
Yeah.
everything else
Well,
sucks?
yeah, but they're playing the Cubs, so only some of the baseball is
Yeah,
future.
Not even
So the
all
Cubs
baseball.
lasted, but the Neptunes,
The Neptunes had to show up.
It's awesome.
It's like I told Matt while we were watching it. It was like for every single thing in this movie, they flipped a coin and then we're like, tails up. Nope, that doesn't get to be futury. It's heads. Okay, that does get to be futury. Futuristic. I keep saying futury.
The Neptunes
like that's a thing.
versus the Cubs. Wait, do bears still exist? Yeah,
they
bears
wrote
can
the
exist.
script like a Mad Lib, and they had a bag of future nouns and present nouns.
Present
and they just like, let's
Just
do-
haphazardly picked at them. But I was surprised when they were driving through the normal neighborhood because I get it. Like they maybe in the budget they couldn't have had like as the whole driving scene through a giant future
I would
neighborhood.
have put it at night at least.
Well,
at
and
night, it
why
would
not-
have
but
They
matched
built that
that.
in time.
Why not slip in like a little like they like they just drive by the screen and then like it's a hologram advertisement. So it's like, okay, we're still grounded in the future in some way. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like even like little things like maybe
Because then maybe they'd have to make it disappear, and then they'd have to show what it actually looked like. I don't know.
no, I mean just like the street signs, like they could drive past like I remember they had like the
street
panel that says
signs
like,
could
oh,
be
this zone
electric.
that
Yeah.
the skybus
Yeah.
drives through. Yeah, just like the street signs are just like pff, like, oh, welcome to this neighborhood. Just
well,
like
yeah.
slip that in real quick. You know what I
Welcome
mean?
to classic
Something.
America.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or
They
like
don't.
when they started the car just goes like it's like a fucking
Well,
space
the
sound
thing
and
is
not
that-
like a normal engine sound.
Yeah, it did not.
It's something
Cuts-
like that.
While they're
God.
driving, it cuts to night. I remember this because he's dropping her off at her apartment building, which is another building that looks really similar
Yeah.
to where she works. It looks like they,
It was just-
had
they
these,
shot it on the
strip
other
mall
half of-
buildings.
It's that same building. They just shot it on the other side of it. It's the
Yeah.
second lobby for the same building, and they just shot there for where she works.
That's when he
and where she
drives
lives.
home. And I remember because the establishing shot of his neighborhood, it was like it looks
Okay,
It's
like-
like
it's like-
Gotham City.
Yeah, it's total like
Dude.
RoboCop dystopia.
yeah,
like
yeah.
and it pans over to this like glowing red Airstream trailer.
Yeah.
in
With
an
glow-
alleyway.
next to it-
glowing red.
Vandalizing the building right like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he just parks next to it and gets out.
they're probably
Like,
there
he
all the
lives-
time.
And that's where he lives.
That's where he woke up this morning? I
Yeah.
thought he was
With
in
the little video
I thought he
screen?
was in a building this morning.
No.
They only
didn't
show through the
even
window. They don't show what it actually is. I think. Yeah.
Was that intentional or just a fuck up?
I don't know. It made you feel like he was like on the 40th.
Floor, like
Floor
the
of a
Fifth
building.
Element
Yeah.
building, and
Yeah,
then
that's
he lives
absolutely
in
what
a
I thought.
trailer in an alley.
In an alley,
next
yeah.
to people actively vandalizing shit.
His life sucks.
Yeah.
He opens the door and there's Shrek. Played
Shrek
by
is there.
Mike Myers, of course.
Giant green monster.
And Donkey
This is
grabs
it.
it from behind.
Yeah, this is when he first worked out that character, actually.
Yeah, right.
Two
in
dudes snatch him up, and he's like, "What did you think? You think I'm a comedian?" I said, "I want my money. You owe me $10,000." And that's when he goes, "I can get $2,000." It's like, then why do you live like this if you can just go get him $2,000 right now?
God, dude.
You have no friends.
It's his betting money,
You're
I'm sure. Like
alcoholic.
he makes enough money maybe to like not live like that, but he chooses to so he can spend as much money possible gambling.
Possibly.
I mean, he doesn't care about his life. I assume he's supposed to be Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon, right? I mean, that's
pretty much
what
it.
he is.
He starts as Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon, then he ends up. He just goes
And
through
he
a bunch of different
becomes
action
John
heroes.
McClane from Die
Then he becomes John
Hard,
McClane
in Blade Runner.
in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Wait, I think between him dropping her off at the house and him arriving home is when the Kenji weird phone sex thing happens.
Oh, it might.
I think.
This is when the event happens. Yeah,
So-
Which is awesome. This scene's great.
The Kenji, the dude from
Best in Show.
Best in Show. He's like on a phone with someone and he's going like, "Look, I've been holed up in this science lab for 3 weeks doing programming. Just tell me what you're wearing."
And he's talking to a woman that works.
Well, we don't know where she is.
Well, it
I
said
would
Sky.
assume
I
she's-
saw early on. It said Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah,
This is canon with Terminator.
right.
this is Terminator canon.
She
This
works
movie.
for Skynet, which controls the Sky Bus.
I like this movie
Right.
better than Terminator Salvation.
Yeah,
Wow. Take that.
they tried harder in this movie.
Take that, McG.
Dick. So then he's like, "Tell me what you're wearing," and she starts describing like her boring ass uniform. And then all of a sudden,
I think it's supposed to be like a joke because it's supposed to be like, "What are you wearing?" And then she's like, "My fucking work uniform." Like,
Yeah.
so she starts.
He's like
yeah.
taking his shirt off.
He's getting
No.
into it.
Yeah,
He's
well,
like
he's gonna
taking his
start
shirt
working
off.
his nipples or
Yeah.
something. I mean, he's
Gotta
Then all of a
into it.
sudden, the computer's like,
Gotta bust them nips.
unauthorized access, and he's like, hackers. And he
Hackers.
like puts the phone down without hanging
With
up.
that, yeah.
And she's like, "What, Kenji?" And then a green lightning bolt shoots out of
Where the virus
the
is.
virus tank
Into the
into
phone.
the phone,
Then
out
of her
phone,
phone into Skynet's mainframe.
Right.
and then back into the phone, and back out of the phone, back into the.
Because it has to come
This
back.
was
That's the thing.
1995, and they named something in the movie Skynet.
Skynet. I wonder.
1990. I mean, that's.
I wonder
both
if it was-
Terminator movies.
Had
I wonder if it was
happened.
supposed to be.
Fully at this.
I wonder if it was supposed to be like a little nod. Like they thought it was a nice little like
Maybe.
like a little funny nod
And
to
they were like
Terminator.
trying to be literal with Skynet. It's about,
It's about
sky
the
buses,
Sky Bus.
and it's a network.
And it never really comes back up. Like Skynet
No,
doesn't become
no,
a
it
thing.
doesn't.
I wonder if it was purposefully just like a little nod to that because it's a sci-fi movie and it definitely has like
Yeah.
Terminator-y vibes a little bit.
It was probably a fan choice
Yeah,
or something.
right.
But it was just like, wait a minute. So
Hold on.
Skynet's becoming sentient?
Yeah.
That's what the scene is happening in the scene. Is
But
Skynet
that's not what happened.
It's
though.
not,
Like,
really.
It deletes the.
guidance system
guidance
to a
system.
sky bus.
Yeah.
But that's what I was pointing out. It said the entire guidance system. It wasn't one bus. It showed the map.
All of them.
Of the
yeah,
whole
so it must
city
just
going
be
down.
one Sky Bus.
It only showed one bus.
You think
crash
there's
and
just one? It's
47
just
people
for like
died.
the ultra rich or something. They can take the Sky Bus, so there's
Or
only
it's
the
just-
one.
I mean, it's
like the Concorde.
Maybe
There's
is
one private jet in the
maybe
future,
it's
and you have
kinda-
to share it with an entire city.
Is it kind of like a train thing in Chicago? Like there's one train that goes throughout the city, one rail, and there's one sky bus. You know, I don't know. I'm just.
Only 45 people fit on it. It's not a very effective
Yeah,
means of public transportation.
It's for rich people.
That's what I said.
47
Yeah.
people on it.
It's the trailer. The trailer of this movie is this scene, which is the sky bus
yeah.
flowing towards the building.
No, I
all
love the
that with
woman-
shit.
And for
woman
the
on the
entire
phone-
movie, all the footage of the Sky Bus in the whole movie is also in the trailer. So if you just watch
yeah.
the trailer, that's all the Sky
No,
Bus
they
you
market
get.
it with the sky bus.
Yeah.
The Skybus looked awesome.
The sky bus
Yeah.
looks great. It's a model. It's well incorporated and composited. It's great.
The
It is.
It looks good.
It's great.
the woman who's supposed to be in control of the Skybus is like looking at a screen, and it goes, "Do you want to delete the guidance system?" And she goes, "No!" And then it's like,
But she
currently
yells-
deleting guidance system. And she goes, "God damn it, no!" Like
She just yells at it. She doesn't do anything.
no,
though.
she's not typing.
Did
anything.
somebody have to program into the computer the option to delete a guidance system?
Well, the way the rest of the shit pops up on computers through the rest of this fucking
it's just
movie, I
like-
guess so.
Would
Well,
you
that's
like the
like-
plot to further? No.
No.
Yeah, it does. So it crashes and
they're
kills
like,
everyone
what the
on
fuck?
it.
Yeah,
And that
it,
sucks.
it crashes into a fucking building.
Yeah.
And then it only kills the 45 people on board and injures 100 others somehow.
It exploded through the other side
Yeah.
of the building.
Yeah, I can't
full
believe
on-
only 45
Yeah.
people
Right?
died.
Full
yeah.
on into a
That means-
large skyscraper, smashes into the side, giant explosion out the other
imagery
side.
here. So
Yeah, it was like, it was serious though. Like that,
Yeah.
like thousands of people should have died.
Yeah,
Like that was
that-
ridiculous.
it was bad. Yes.
It
but-
made no sense.
45 dead, 100 injured. This is when that was people
And
thought
then
that was a bad
Michael
terrorist
Dudikoff
attack.
pulls up to his trailer house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when he pulls up the trailer.
So
So for
house.
some reason that felt sadder.
I cared more about
I
that
care more about how he's living
than the
those
people on the sky bus.
Because the people, we don't even see like close-ups of the people in the sky bus.
No,
it's
like
them on a
it's
monitor.
CCTV footage of them like holding each other. Like,
Yeah.
And then all at the same time, very clearly being instructed to like, what?
fall to the
like one
left.
side, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Captain Kirk, like Star Trek motions.
Right,
you know,
but they didn't like fucking wobble it.
Yeah, they didn't wobble the
It's a
scene.
perfectly still shot of them just going,
Ah!
like at the same time. It was ridiculous.
So he shows up to his trailer. Shrek is there. They tell him
So you
that
guys
he owes me
hold him.
10,000.
He pulls out like a knife.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson. You think this is a joke
pliers?
about my money?
He's
No,
gonna
he's got
cut
a
his
knife.
dick off,
It's a
right?
knife.
That's what he was threatening, right?
I don't know if he's
I
specifically
couldn't
setting his
tell-
dick.
I thought
May-
it was like a threat on. He's
He
cutting
pulls out
something.
his
I
knife
think
and
he
he's
was gonna
threatening him
cut
because
his
he owns the
fingers off,
money.
Because he was like, "You owe me 10,000."
That's what I thought was gonna be
and
the
you
funny,
told me you
or
have
the
two.
the fingers.
How many is left? So I think he was gonna like cut it.
Yeah, I
8
assume fingers.
off.
Jeez, I mean,
That's like a lot of work.
well, it doesn't
too.
make sense to cut two off because then why would I pay you $8,000? Then you cut all my fingers off.
Yeah.
Presumably.
The age-old
You've
question.
set a precedent.
His mob math doesn't check out.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the age-old bookie question? If they break your legs, do you still owe them the money? You know.
Yes. That's why they broke
But
your legs.
legs.
It's not. It's not freeing you of the debt. It's a
He,
warning.
Well, now I have medical bills. Go out getting your money now, asshole. Like Jesus. I've never owed a bookie money.
Right.
I don't know how that works really.
He hits the knife out of his hand and then punches the two dudes. Runs out, gets in his old fucking car.
Yep.
And then I remember because the
Peels
guys
out.
are about to shoot, and he's like, "You mooks, you let him get away."
Yeah, mooks. Yeah.
But what year is it? Mooks.
And they had Uzis, normal ass looking Uzis.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm telling you, this is
Well,
a
they're
world.
bookies. Maybe it's like they
This
don't
is a
have
world
the
that's so in the
nice
future
stuff.
that specific areas exist where you just get to choose to live in the time period you like the most. Like there's a 1950s spot,
Yeah.
like neighborhood. There's a neighborhood that's like the future
It's like
neighborhood.
a diner. It's like
It
everything's
makes-
a themed diner of an
Yeah,
era.
right.
Yeah.
It makes the henchmen for fucking Nessa
Make a lot of sense because they all live in
That's the
different
scene.
neighborhoods where they like to live.
Yeah, they're
See?
all just from different
telling
hoods
you.
around the city.
This movie's just smarter than us, is the thing.
I
worked,
doubt that.
It worked itself out, Matt,
Nope.
before we ever got to it.
So anyway, he escapes. Then it's like
and he
morning.
goes he escapes, he goes to his work, and that's when what's the security guard's name?
No, that doesn't happen yet.
No.
He just goes to work.
Yeah.
And that's when he's cleaning up the.
Because
science
that's what I
lab.
said. I was like, he ran away and then he just went to work? Like,
Yeah.
not like went to work like, I'm running away. Like, he just, like, clocked
I guess
in.
I'm just here.
Clocked in and did his shift.
Yeah.
Like, just didn't care.
And he's sweeping up the lab, right?
Yeah, because the keyboard like exploded when the virus escaped.
He's just
Yes.
picking giant pieces of like
Computer
circuitry
bits.
and
Like, it's like a motherboard. And then he just
While
kind of
she's crying.
He gives it a look for a second, like he's like an ape who found a cell phone, like, ugh. And then he's like, guess it's trash, and just like, bloop. I was like, why? Who's letting just the janitor walk around the virus lab and just be picking up computer parts and shoving them in there, or shoving them in the trash can? Like, don't they want to check it out first, or like?
Wait, did they already? I think we skipped where her dad and the owner of the company convinced her that clearly that the sky bus accident and the virus.
Oh,
not
and nothing to do with
related.
each other.
They have nothing to do.
No,
with
no,
each
that's
other.
what happened in that scene, and then she's crying.
Yeah, and
They
then
convince her that she's angry and sad because they're not listening, and they're like,
Then
"We're
he
gonna keep
offers her
keep going forward no matter what."
He offers her whiskey, which is insane.
Because she's doing
He's
really
on the
delicate
job.
shit.
They're both on the job. It's like 9 a.m.
Yeah, at least he's the janitor though. Like that's fine, but she should not be imbibing alcohol while working.
No.
Especially on stuff like that.
Yeah, if he wants to knock one or two back while he's sweeping the floor, that's fine. But in control of something that could literally destroy the entire world and create a cyber god, like just
Maybe
lay
not.
off the sauce.
Yeah. Then
She's like, oh, that what a
Yeah, pet
nice
this dog.
man.
No, come back.
Or when she was like, "How do you drink this stuff?" And he goes, "Practice."
Practice.
And
Yeah.
then leaves the room.
Well, he's an alcoholic. He's a certified alcoholic. What happens after that?
That's when
That's when
it's nighttime, and
That's what. Yeah, that's when
Johnny shows like
he goes down to Johnny. He's like, "Hey, basically, can I sleep here? Because I'm on the run." And then he's like, "Yeah, just like you clock out, so you're not signed in, and no one will know that you're here." And then he's like, "Also, make sure those gangsters don't come here.
not
don't
on the list. I took you off
the list." Right.
That was
yeah.
that line came back later. He's not. No one's on the list, boss.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So he's not on the list. He's living
It's
in
important.
a room that has
Jesus Christ, has a gyro ball like thing that you can hook yourself into the middle of.
Yeah.
And a
hologram?
just a huge computer board.
Well, I think he's just sleeping in like one of the labs because it's clear that he turns the hologram thing on by accident and doesn't know what to do. He's just like sleeping in a random lab.
And it's
and another bit of like, what the fuck is the technology in this goddamn movie? He's listening to the baseball game on like a tiny AM/FM radio.
Yeah, it looks like a normal.
And then he turns on I Dream of Jeannie hologram who's stripping.
That's like the best hologram you've ever seen in your
It was
entire
a
life.
woman.
It's just a person in the room.
Yeah.
Guys.
And it becomes
I know.
It becomes important later in the movie that the holograms are so lifelike it's impossible to tell that it's not a real person.
Yeah. But he's using an AM.
But he's using a fucking
radio.
AM/FM radio. Lost the coin flip on that one. Lost the coin flip on the AM/FM radio.
In their defense, though, in '95, I don't know what. I guess the radio would just need to look different. You wouldn't have to explain the different radio technology, right? I mean, like,
well, because
I don't
now
expect that.
It
in the
didn't
movie.
even look.
Why can't he?
No, it looked like an '80s.
Why can't he be like streaming it? The internet is a thing. They make mention of the internet a lot.
The internet.
Why isn't he just like? You would think that if they're doing the internet, even if it's not a thing in 1995, they'd be like, "Oh, I bet you can just like fucking watch TV."
The net came out in 93, 94.
But I mean, like streaming a baseball game or something.
That
you know what I mean?
Eternal. People will always reference that Sandra Bullock movie because it was like the first time Hollywood tried to capitalize on it. The net. You can order pizza on the net. Oh my God.
Oh, pizza! I'm hungry.
It was right. Let's just say that. Give it its credit.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, a better way for him that he would choose, especially in this high-tech lab, to be listening or watching the baseball game, not on his tiny, shitty little radio, when the world's best hologram is standing in front of him stripping.
Yeah, shouldn't be able to watch baseball on a hologram screen.
Hey, see? Now you're thinking.
Yeah, watching it on a screen should be so easy.
That's so, yeah, why would they not think of that?
Easy, yeah.
So...
At least for while he's in the lab. I get, like, later when he's running around, he's listening to it, like, okay. Then maybe his radio, but, like...
Maybe in the future they just realize that watching things isn't as good as it takes too much of your time, causes eye cancer.
No, you're giving this way too much credit.
Yeah.
They just didn't fucking think about it.
This guy with the guy who's like, I think this movie's smarter than us guys.
That was obviously
now
a
he's
joke.
giving it too much credit.
Whatever. But no, like it sucks because the main rule of sci-fi, and this is how you can get away. This is why it frustrates me because you can get away with anything in a sci-fi anything. All you have to do is just make whatever crazy world you want and then just live within the rules that you set there. That's all you have to do. But they don't do that. You could do anything you want, any technology, any crazy shit, but they choose not to. They just like randomly, this is futury, that's futury.
I mean, he could have just had a radio that was in his watch. That would have been enough for me.
A
radio in his watch. I would have been like, oh, that's nice.
Great.
That's in 95.
It wouldn't have cost them any more in the budget to add these little bit of futuristic
our
things.
95 eyes forward.
Yeah,
we can't look from now because we know how shit would be. Why is no one holding a cell phone?
Well, the big thing about like a lot of tech like that in the 90s, and especially in a lot of sci-fi movies from the 90s, is it's all just to be easier. Everything's quality of life easier. So like radio in your watch makes total sense for how the future. They thought the future was going to be going at that point. Not that they were very far off or anything, but like all of that. TV in your pocket, that kind of thing. Like just easier, more access, and like lower class people can afford it easier. Like more technology is more accessible to all people. That was kind of like the running themes of tech at the time.
It wouldn't be like a walkie-talkie sized radio. That's not
Right. Yeah.
easier. That's less.
Yeah, because even then, I remember like people were like,
yeah.
you could play chess with someone across the world. So it was like just little tiny things. That's what I'm saying. In their budget for the movie, it wouldn't have cost them anything more to add little things like that. Like when they're driving down
Yeah,
the
you
street,
just
adding
add
a little
the-
bit of a future street sign.
Anything
Or,
could be a radio in a movie, and then you just add the sound later.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to move on.
yeah, we gotta go on.
We need to move on. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. We
I could talk about that forever. That's like one of my endless pits
We
of.
talk about what they could have
This
done.
fucking radio, are you kidding me? I'm just kidding.
That's when the bad
cleaners
guys
show
the
up.
cleaners, yeah.
Yep.
A van of cleaners show up, and
Carpet
this is, I
cleaners.
love this line. So the cleaners show up. They get out of the van. They turn off the security system. They walk up to the door. They let them in. Johnny walks up and he goes, "Hey, oh, this is great. You guys are gonna clean the carpets. What floor are you heading to?" And they go, "4th floor." And he goes, "Well, I think you're mistaken because I think
There's
you
no
mean the
carpets
3rd floor. There's
on the
no
4th
carpets
floor."
on the 4th floor." There's no carpets on the the
Not a
4th floor is all that like spaceship shit. What if like the 4th floor was like a spaceship landed on top of a normal building or something? I don't know. Like the 4th floor has no carpets whatsoever.
But then the
Anywhere.
third floor, carpeted up
carpeted the fuck out. Like
for
what?
some reason.
I
Okay.
don't know. I thought that was funny.
So yeah.
So is the 2nd floor like a desert?
It's like a line that you write so that it has that scene to say it in.
They
You
just
know,
needed the
there's
line.
not
Yeah,
any other
I
reason
know.
to have that
they
line.
wrote they
It's like a Pokemon
They can't back
battle
it up with the
tower.
set.
Every
No.
floor is
They just wanted
Him
the
going,
line.
There's no carpeting up there.
None.
All right.
We made it look like a spaceship for no reason.
yeah.
The 2nd floor is a held
And I remember because
because
from that scene, nothing happens at the end of that scene. It cuts back to him with the naked dancing hologram.
Yep.
Then it cuts
And it, like,
back, and they're mid shooting the security. Like they
Yeah.
don't have it. There, no scene has him fully getting shot. His death is like good. And it's like cuts to him dying.
It's
and
weird where they
falling
decide
over.
to pull punches with the violence in this movie.
Yeah, it's
and then
really
where they
weird.
just get brutal as fuck with it.
And then they set it up so there's a still hologram of him sitting there.
Yeah.
And a bunch more people get out of the van.
Get out of the van, and there's-
come in. And then when the last person comes in, the one of the people that first came in is this black woman, and she's in like the white jumpsuit like everybody else, and everybody else who was in a white jumpsuit just left it on.
Yep.
But the last person runs in and she just rips it off, and she is wearing like somehow this permanently affixed steel battle chest plate.
Yeah.
That has no
No
backing.
back straps, anything.
It's just like
attached to her breasts
where like a
and
plastron would be. It's just like a plastron that's just over like the vital organs of the chest.
yeah.
And then
It's amazing.
is this when Brion James comes in?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is when he's first revealed
Yeah.
what he looks like now in this movie.
Yeah, because he walks in and then he like looks. Doesn't he like look at the security guard and makes
Yeah.
him an quip?
Right, he does. I forget what he says.
Yeah,
But you got to understand what he looks like. He looks
Oh
like
my god.
it's hard to even describe.
He looks like
Number
Ric
one-
Flair. Like he's trying to impersonate Ric Flair as the
If
Undertaker.
Ric Flair and like Rutger Hauer
God.
and Rod Stewart had a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just
does. He's
I was gonna say like
Rod
Billy,
Stewart,
Billy. He was like a
bro.
Billy Idol, like in a long
Yes.
vampire future jacket.
It's like he you know how there's certain actors you just can't get
Nailed
to
it.
look like other
Yeah.
stuff. It'd be like if you put Ray Liotta in this role.
Right.
It's
I
just
would
like,
love that. Just
That would have been great.
as much.
Ray Liotta doing anything but a monster or a police officer is atrocious.
Okay,
It's
but here's-
always terrible.
So this is the first time he makes that quip though, and this is the first time I noticed. I don't remember what he says, but his accent is different now.
his accent, yeah, it's a mishmash of Brion James just doing
Yeah,
anything.
He almost sounds British.
He
at
does like
points,
5
but it's,
different
like, New
accents through the
York.
whole
It's-
movie.
sometimes sounds like this, and sometimes just like, "Hey boy, how are you doing?"
And then sometimes he has like a full-on English accent.
yeah, it's weird.
Like he turns to the doctor and he's like, "Oh, you must be Doctor," but like in a British accent. And then like later he's like, "Meh, get rid of these guys. I told you." Like Jesus,
Yeah, see,
It's weird.
I'm gonna stick you with this knife.
he literally
see?
goes, "Nah," that one time.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he literally does that.
So then we get a montage. I love this. A montage. Oh, the scientists are still working on the thing because they're like,
Yeah.
it's all fucked
it's
up.
all-
We gotta-
They're
no,
crunching.
It's all
They're late night
yeah,
crunch.
we got to crunch on this. And the thugs just start shooting every computer
Every
on
single
every
computer.
floor that isn't the 4th floor.
This is why I'm telling you later. We'll come back to it. That the movie's smarter than us.
It's not smart.
We're introduced in this scene to the laughing Scarface thug who apparently
Numb. Which we'll get to
who
that.
we're given a
Good
backstory
Lord.
to for some reason.
He gets a backstory.
Numb.
They shoot everything. They get to the lab. They take over the lab. Brion James is like, who's in charge? And the Jervis guy is like, I own this place. And he just gets plugged straight in the dome.
Straight murders him. Yep.
But also, I said this while we were watching it, no bullet ever exits a body. They only enter them. It doesn't matter how far away it was
But the
shot
laser
from.
guns literally fucking
liquefy.
evaporate people.
They blow you up.
That guy disappeared. I mean, he was just gone.
He just turned into Power
didn't
Ranger
get there
sparks.
yet,
We're
but
not
yeah.
there yet.
But that guy does die, and it doesn't go through his head. It goes
No,
into
it goes
his head.
into his skull from like a foot and a half away.
It's like a 22
and it
bullet.
stays there.
Maybe it's like a cerebral bore type of thing where like the bullet just goes inside, and then it's a future
Yeah, it's
Are
bullet.
like
you
So it is-
referencing Turok?
yeah, you know it.
Oh my god. Turok 64.
Yep.
All
I think it's in
right.
Turok 2, Seeds of Evil.
Do you know that the South Park video game just used that engine, and the cerebral bore was the cow gun, and it would just be the cow's asshole would come over you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And suffocate you, and you would actually see a flap of its asshole on the screen.
Jesus.
All right.
Christ.
Anyway,
We digress.
it's late. What do you want?
What are we saying? They shoot all the computers. They get to the top. They take over life. He shoots that guy. Then he's like, all right, now somebody open this fucking virus. And they're like, what? And he's like, I said open it. See? Yeah. And they're like, all right, well, we can't really open it because, it needs a biological component. And
And it needs a code. He's a 9.
Well, no,
That's not
yet.
quite.
Oh.
He's like, and they're like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
you
kinda
can't just
this-
let it out.
It's like this thing.
We built a specific container for it.
He's
How
like,
how do you expect it to remove it from the one thing that's been specifically designed to contain it?
Someone starts like explaining to him why it can't happen.
Yeah.
And Rose's dad, or Alex's dad, he like does something. He starts typing on something, and then it's like self-destruct sequence initiated.
Virus self-destruct sequence.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, hits yes, and then
Press Y to continue.
what is the bad guy's name? Nessim? What?
Nassim.
Nassim.
Nassim, which is,
Can't remember.
isn't that the name of Coming to America? Prince
I
Nassim?
couldn't tell you.
Is it Asim? Okay.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Nassim shoots her dad.
Akeem. Sorry.
She starts crying over his body, and he goes, somebody turn that off. And they're like, no, he's the only one who would, he's the only one who did that. And he's like, well, who made the computer system itself? And they're like, she did. And she's crying over her dad's dead body. He walks over and just kind of kicks it off of a ledge. That's like, because the room is like the TARDIS or something. They're like on this weird pedestal with the virus tube in the middle.
Yeah.
And he like,
Yeah,
just
the
kicks her
walkways
fucking
are
dad's
raised
body.
off. What's underneath of them?
Space or science things.
Science.
More
stuff.
science.
Science.
The
stuff.
giant air ducts and shit.
The giant,
Keep all
yeah,
the
they had to make room for all the
gotta
giant
keep the
fucking air
CPUs
ducts.
Cool, so.
So then he's like, you better fucking make this work. And she's like, no. And then he shoots somebody else.
He just shoots one of the
Some other
shoots
person.
There's
a
a
random
whole
person.
gaggle of scientists in the corner for him to just shoot whenever he gets too mad.
He surprisingly didn't shoot that many of them.
Yeah, he shot like 3. And they
Yeah,
fucking hit.
3.
So he plugs one of them and she's like, oh God. And she starts working. And then it cuts to, what's his name? Nick James. He's
You could literally cut him
Good
out of the
God.
movie almost. Like
Yeah.
a lot of
I'll-
this- he goes
I'll
to
make that point later.
This scene is him going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
helpful. Plot wise, he goes
he
to
has
the
no
bathroom.
clue what's happened right now.
Yeah,
It's just a
he's-
reason for him to have to be caught on the security camera.
Yeah.
Well, he gets locked out of the room he was supposed to sleep in because he doesn't have his pass card. So then he goes down to see Johnny, and that's when he figures out Johnny is a hologram and is also dead.
Right. Which he gives the classic hologram reach through touch.
This
that
is
you
when
pointed
we
out.
get introduced to the cowboy henchman who's like running the security room.
Yeah, all of the henchmen are like their
Dude.
own totally unique characters.
It's like the YMCA
Well, there's-
guys.
there's There's the Conan the
village
Destroyer woman, and then there's the village
Yeah.
people. There's the cowboy guy. There's the Jamaican
Dude.
African guy.
that guy sucks.
It's-
Fuck him from
yeah.
doing that.
I'm
That-
telling you, what happened? They got the actors in and they just set them loose in wardrobe, and they were like, "You have like 20
Do
minutes.
anything.
Grab
Yeah.
any costume over 20 minutes." Yeah, and they all are these different things. At
That's
least
it.
you know what? Though I gotta say, even though it's really ridiculous, it's better than them all just being like faceless.
Yeah.
like just whoever henchman.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's better.
It's better.
It's weird.
It's not done well, but
I mean, the
if it was,
Conan
it'd be
woman is
cool.
amazing.
She's
fucking
great.
awesome.
She's
great.
absolutely wonderful.
She's probably my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, the Jamaican guy,
Not
yeah,
cool.
don't do that.
Yeah,
He's wearing like an African
it's
robe, and yeah, it's no.
it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely insane.
His name is Reef.
Yeah, his name's Reef. All right. Then he goes to the bed. Or no, he realizes the dude's dead, and then he goes somewhere. He's heading. I think he goes to try to use a phone, and it doesn't work.
Yeah,
And then he exits an office. The cowboy guy sees him, and he because they already did the list thing. He's like, "Yep, that's everybody. We have."
Yeah, they're on the list. They told the
lab.
scene that they got everyone.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But then they're like, "Oh, we got a rogue." And
Yep,
he's like,
that's
"What?"
everyone on the list.
He's like,
we got a John McClane.
And then the movie.
We got a
oh
John
God,
McClane.
yeah, it's
I wish they said that.
The middle of this movie is sucks shit. It's terrible. It's awful. It's so
There was-
boring.
there was a
not
moment where I
Die
was-
Hard at all.
No,
It's
yes.
like the worst version
It's
of
not
Die Hard.
possible. Yeah,
There was a
it
moment where I
sucks.
was like, man,
If
the
Die
rest of
Hard
the movie
was
is like
this, you
this.
wouldn't
Like,
know what Die
this
Hard
episode's gonna be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
If
the
the rest
middle
of the movie goes
sucks.
this way,
It's pretty
yeah.
bad.
It's got second
really
act
boring,
problems, for sure.
uneventful. It's a lot of people walking around corridors, which is
A lot.
yeah.
So
A
much,
lot.
All right,
So
yeah. So they
much.
see him and they tell Nassim that there's a guy, and he's like, "Go get him." What did you say he looked like?
He said it's the janitor, and he's like, "Go get it." He calls him
Get
it.
Go kill it.
Yeah.
Well, who would look like?
The guy, the second.
He was just in his white
the white
jumpsuit
jumpsuit.
when they came in with
With the
for the carpet
earring.
cleaners. Yeah, and he
What
has
did you
like
say he looked
Oh,
like?
I said he looked like a country music star.
That's
I think
right,
that-
yeah,
that-
He
made
looks
me
like he sings country
Oh, yeah.
music.
Yeah, that made me laugh. Pretty
I think
hard.
that earring thing is like their communication deal because that's what the cops and stuff have too.
No, it was just an earring.
No, they
It was?
talked over.
Okay.
It was a
radio.
decorative earring for his style.
Oh, okay.
He was just styled like an asshole.
He
That's what
didn't
looked
get a
like.
real costume because he had to stay in the fucking jumpsuit, so they
Right.
gave him an earring, so that
Yeah.
could be his deal.
So he's supposed to go find him.
It's such
God.
terrible.
I think we can just skip the next like fucking 20
No,
minutes. of the
no,
movie.
it's
God, we sort of can, but we can brush over it quickly. 'Cause
oh
it's
man,
bullshit.
we really need to go.
Yeah,
It's been an hour.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
at this
Yeah.
point,
It's me. I ramble too much.
what is going on? Oh, he's in a room, and he's trying to smash a window open with a golf club.
Yep, but it
It's
doesn't
not working.
doesn't smash.
Windows are too thick.
And country music guy is coming after him. He sees him through the window of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Did the cops already show up? No,
No, they haven't showed up yet.
Yeah.
God, this scene is so boring.
Jesus. Yeah, there's a gun chase in the hallway, and then he eventually,
Standard
after
action
a
movie
very
hallway gun
long
chase.
Yeah, yeah.
time, he dives down a waste chute into the bowels of the building.
Yep. The
And
facility.
now he's in the facility portion of the building.
Facility
And
portion.
I was really worried there was going to be a lot of the movie down there, and I was like, God
More
damn it.
facilities,
I hate these stupid basement
railings, and pipes.
Oh Jesus!
You watch these movies, it's like pipes and railings for your life. It's insane.
movies.
It's
So much. Oh, this used to be an oil factory, you don't say. Come on.
it's not in use anymore.
right. So then now the cops come. Right.
No, he's in the basement. The guy gets down in the basement. He hides in like a closet or some shit. And the guys get real. The guy in the jumpsuit gets really mad. And then he
Yeah.
goes back, and it seems like you are a fuckhead. And you need to go kill that motherfucker now.
Right. But he doesn't.
And he gets the cowboy guy to like somehow figure out where he is in the building using
Well, it's in the
heat
security
maps
camera
or something.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like heat maps.
I
Yeah.
think it was like heat maps. It didn't.
Yeah.
It looked
The
weird.
cowboy guy is their tech dude. Which is
Right.
so
He's like
weird.
he's the man behind. He's the man at the desk or whatever.
So they figure out where he is, and they start chasing him through the air ducts. And at this point, he's in an air duct that's gigantic.
It's so big.
And then he's like
Wasting a lot of money pumping air through these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
he's looking at Alex while she's like programming or decrypting
Yeah.
the
She's trying
system.
to open the system so she could stop the self-destruct
Yeah.
sequence that's on the virus, the computer of the virus.
Somehow she sees him through the grate in the
Yeah.
darkness, and she's like,
Well, it's not very dark in there. It's got a huge bright light on his fucking face coming from the inside of the.
Right before this is when Numb gives his dumb backstory.
He tells
goes,
her
he goes,
about
my
his
dad
scar.
was a scientist. He was a psychologist. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, one day when I was just a wee little bundle of joy, he walked up to me, cut my head open,
and he shows
now
the scar.
I don't feel any more pain.
I can't feel
And he
pain
puts a cigarette
anymore.
on his arm.
Yep.
And you're like, what?
Which, by the way,
Why?
Ajax from Deadpool, that's the same.
Yeah.
He basically
That is like the same
and
thing,
he
isn't
looks kind of similar to that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's
I
just
didn't think about
Ajax from
that.
Deadpool.
I'm sure it was that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she's
no,
like,
it wasn't, but yeah.
she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he takes her to the bathroom.
It was
and
also Die Another Day, right? The
I
villain
don't
in
know.
Die Another Day couldn't feel pain. Okay.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
She goes to the bathroom, assuming that he knows how to crawl to the women's bathroom through the air duct.
Yeah.
Right.
Which he does. I mean, she was
He
right.
gets there, right to the.
He is the janitor.
weirdly
Yeah.
gigantic vent right next to the woman's toilet,
Right.
like right next to the toilet.
That's
in
how
the stall.
that's how he knows it's there.
Or
how to get to it. He hangs
She's
out
like,
there a
"Hey,
lot.
you gotta save us. This is fucked. This virus is gonna destroy everything in an hour." And he's like, despite being a former cop, he goes, "Look, I'm just a janitor. I don't have to do shit."
It's like,
She's
dude,
like, "Are you
come
kidding?"
on,
He's not very into it.
man.
And
God,
then she
can
she
this
like,
start? Can he start? Do anything. You're
Have
a
a purpose.
Yeah.
she gives him a watch, and it's like, you have an hour to. He's like, "Stop this." And then the guy like rips her out of the stall, and then he has a long tunnel chase with the three henchmen, the
Three,
like,
yeah.
African dude, the pop singer, the country singer, and the guy. Third guy, he blows up that third guy with a Molotov cocktail.
Well, so a for real one. It explodes into
Yeah.
a raging inferno.
Yeah.
And burns his entire body for. I mean,
long time.
They hang out on it for like 8 seconds. They really got their money's worth out of the
They
burning.
paid for it.
Yeah, they
So
definitely did.
then that's when country singer goes back and he's like, "This guy is fucking crazy," and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And he sends his henchman after her, out. He goes, "Go with him and make sure he does a good job." And she's like, "I love it," and like almost
knows-
cuts his face with a knife.
Yeah, a knife comes out of her wrist and she goes, "It's gonna feel so good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they like do like a sexy like the
They
knife
don't
touches
kiss, but
him.
they almost do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess she's
very sexual.
They're together. It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
Maybe
This-
be progressive about it. Everyone could be.
They're fine.
I mean, it could be an
everyone
orgy
else.
team that
Yeah.
wants
that'd
to
be
get a
awesome.
virus to take over the
Dude,
world.
could you imagine?
It's like the gift, but for cyber viruses.
They got a guy who doesn't feel any pain. That's got to be fun. All right. Just saying. This is also when he goes, "We got to figure out who this fucking guy is." Somebody said his name was Nick. Somehow they heard his name over
Yeah,
radio
yeah.
or something. And
So he looks it up on the computer
and he's like,
and he's like,
through
wow.
the employee
You
files.
look at him, he goes, Nick James. I fucked
the guy named Nick
Yeah,
in
he was like, I used to
prison.
fuck a guy.
No,
named Nick in
that was
prison."
Nick something else.
He goes, "No, that was Nick James."
Nick
Or
Jones.
I
Nick
love that they added
Nick
that. He added
Jones.
that
Yeah.
line. It was so unnecessary.
The best line
I
in
used
the
to
movie.
fuck a guy named Nick in prison.
That was
That's not
awesome.
him.
No, it's not him.
Nah.
Can't be.
Then
Like,
he remembers.
He entertained the idea that the guy involved in this was the guy he used to fuck in prison.
Oh, shit.
In the midst of all this insanity, trying to become a living god. He's like, because that's what he's trying to do
That
here.
would make a
Could be-
better
could be a-
movie. Like, if that
It could
guy
be a
was just
small
coming
town for all we
revenge.
fucking know. Could be a
would've-
small town.
It's true.
Revenge movie. That was what was going on. It was a guy who raped for like 10 years in prison. It's
coming back from him.
Just gonna kill him.
All right.
God.
So
Okay.
then, all right.
Uh,
So then he's like, then he does remember who he is.
yes, and
Because
that's
his
when we
thing
get
comes
the
up and says he's an ex-cop. For some reason, that's in the employee records of the
Science lab.
the science lab
The
where
science
he's a
lab is
janitor.
connected to the world as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's the
Apparently.
internet, too. The internet does exist.
He says he learned about them through the internet, so
Yeah.
I guess
Later. He
I'm
doesn't
willing to
say
go.
it yet.
I'm willing
No,
to
he
go
did.
with
He
that.
said it before he shot her father.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He mentioned the
I
internet.
learned about you all through the internet.
Yeah. So whatever. Sure. He finds out he's an ex-cop. Then he remembers. It does a
Dude.
flashback.
It does, so at the beginning we get to see up until that woman got shot.
Yeah. She
We
gets
don't know what
shot and
happened
falls
to
on the
him.
ground, and then it cuts away.
It cuts back to
This
now
is so
the rest.
angry.
I don't understand this at all.
They never
has,
explain it.
No.
Like Brion James or Nassim has his boot on his neck, and he's like bleeding a lot.
Yeah,
he's like a
fucked
lot
up.
of blood. He looks rough, and he goes, "You know what? He gives some kind of dumb speech, and then he shoots him, as far as we can tell,
Right in the head.
directly
Point blank
into
in
the face.
Yeah,
And he goes, "Man, what? He's dead." And they never
they never
Explain
bring it
what
back up.
happened to
They
him.
never explain.
It never gets brought up again.
I can't
His
believe
miraculous coming back to life
His
from
face
that.
is fine
Dude,
too.
he shot him in the fucking face.
Maybe he
dude.
shot him in the chest. It's possible.
And it was with his future space gun too. It wasn't the normal.
Maybe
gun.
medicine is just awesome.
Possibly.
That's one thing. It won the coin flip for being futuristic.
Like if you have time, you can just fully fix a human face that's been shot
Yeah.
in this future. But you can't make a car that doesn't die.
down or look like a piece of shit from the 80s.
It's possible.
It's just another thing they worked in there. They was just like, but what if he came back from the dead?
All right,
They're like,
we
just-
need to
okay.
finish this movie.
We need to. We got it.
Yep.
What happened next?
Um,
This is when the cops show up.
Sure. I don't remember where in the story the cops show up for the first time.
The middle of this movie is really
I think
hard to
it's
recall.
this
It's-
because the cops show up and it's exactly like Die Hard. He tries
it's
to
so
scream.
God. It's so similar to Die Hard.
He tries to
Yep.
scream through the window.
No, the cops show
The
up.
cowboy The cowboy guy turns off the turrets for him. They walk up to the door, with
and they have a
donuts.
bunch of like sweets and snacks, and they're like,
Yeah, they're like,
"We got
"Hey, Johnny."
everything. We got eclairs. We got buns. We got sticky buns." You
Right.
know?
Like, come on, Johnny, and then
So
that's when we realized the holograms are controlled by fucking like
Joystick.
Airstrike 3 controllers.
Yeah.
and he's like,
Crossfire.
"Sorry guys, my wife said I'm too fat to eat anything. Good night." Like
Yeah, and then
they're
it was like a really
"Oh,
creepy
hey."
wave.
Like he was like being controlled by like strings.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
Like a robot or something. So yeah, so they're like, all right, well, suit
And they're
yourself.
getting in the car, and he goes, "Wait a minute, he doesn't have a wife."
Yeah.
What
Wait,
the fuck?
Johnny doesn't have a wife.
The cop gets back out. That's when the laser obliterates him, like, just erases him from existence.
history. I think it like erased his fucking birth. It was like insane.
But it's like a 30
killed
square
you all the
yards.
way back to
Back to
Inception.
time.
30 square yards of just intense sparks
Everyone
and
forgets you
explosions.
exist. It's like, dude, that's awesome. A gun that shoots
built
somebody
this
and
gun.
erases
It erases you from time.
Yeah, from
All the time.
That's awesome as hell.
God.
So yeah, it blows that cop away, and then the other one's like, "Holy balls!" And then it blows up the car. I thought he was a pretty decent distance from this car. Then it shows this really gruesome shot.
He's
of like
safe
a
enough-
charred man.
Unnecessary.
He's a safe enough distance away from the car that they really blew up the car in a big explosion, and the guy and the actor in real life was totally fine. But then
They show his corpse and it's like charred.
No,
black.
He's
He's
not
alive.
dead. He's like he goes code
yeah.
blue,
Yeah.
and he is like a fucking burnt
It's
pile
horrific.
of shit.
Yeah.
Man, it's gross.
that's what I'm saying. It's weird how they pull the punches and the violence in this game because like they didn't show the security guard getting shot,
He's-
but this guy is like a disgusting
He's like
pile of like.
Mr. Crispy from Blade. If he was not a vampire, that's
Right.
what he looks like.
If he was an actual dying man.
a dying man, yeah.
Ugh. It was weird. So then
Now backup's on the way.
cowboy guy goes, "Yeehaw!" because he blew up.
He
the
does it a
cop
couple
car.
times.
We're back in the lab now.
Yeah.
Is this where he's like?
Well, she found out not long after this that the code word that they were looking
yeah,
for
she was like,
Alexander. It was her name.
I got through 2 layers of the security, but now there's a code word. It's exactly like Die Hard.
Yeah.
It's like we got through these, but there's a different.
Another
thing
example
over
of what is the technology in this fucking world because there's all this crazy shit that they have, but like they don't have the ability. Like that guy didn't show up with the ability to brute force a fucking 9-digit password.
Yeah, you would think they could hack that.
here. Yeah,
Like
They're
somebody
hacking the system,
hacked-
not the virus.
They
so.
hacked
they hacked
into it
they hacked
already.
into this crazy system to let it out
Already?
in the first place,
Yeah.
and this guy showed up and was like, "Oh my god, a fucking password!
damn.
Fuck! Like, what are we gonna do now?
You better do it or I'll shoot another person. She's like,
Then again,
come on,
I've
man.
never seen a movie that like where hacking made any sense. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hacking is a word that
Yeah.
we invented, and it's nothing in the real world is like hacking.
No one
in
will ever
movies.
hack as hard as Neil Breen, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Neil Breen would have hacked the shit out of that password.
Dude, he would have been.
He would have
done.
turned off all the monitors and went
He
right
has
to
everything
it.
he needs right in his car.
Tuna fish. It's good.
Tuna
God, there's so much movie left. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So
Yeah, we haven't even got to
They're
the
like,
tunnel.
Cyclops. None of that
Oh,
shit.
God.
Jesus
All right,
Christ.
so when when the cops are outside and he's banging on the window for them, that's when the two other, the Rasta dude, the Reef guy, like, this scene makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It just shows, like, Nassim is also, after they blow up the cops, he, like, has told Nick that he knows who he is and he remembered him.
Right.
And then he's like, it's just a shot of Nick standing in utter blackness.
Yeah,
holding
nowhere.
a gun, just in a void. And then the Reef guy is like being
Comes
like,
around a corner from
let's
somewhere.
go smoke a spliff or whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, I'll kill you instead. And then he shoots his way through like what?
Like panes of mirror glass.
Glasses,
Dude.
like separating what?
I don't know
What the
where
hell?
he
Where the
is.
fuck was he? How did he see him through like 10 panes of glass? Then when he gets up to
What
him,
is the glass there for?
I don't know.
Science, Nick.
Science.
There's apparently nothing on the floor. Like it's not
It's
like
just
they're
black.
Yeah.
No, I love this chunk though because it's whoever designed this
Dude.
movie was like, hey, a science building would be a lot like an amusement park, right? There's the mirror house. There's
Yeah.
the crazy tunnel.
You're right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it got like weird like that. I was surprised there wasn't a swing set or something. There's a gyroscope.
There's the gyroscope.
Yeah, it's like
there's a
it's just this
giant
weird,
gyroscope
like,
that holds a human.
theme park thing to it.
So he runs through all these. He shoots through all these panes of glass, and then
Yeah, it's the whole mirror
Michael
house
Dudikoff,
gag.
like,
it's his
just-
reflection he's shooting at the whole time.
he just fades into
Yeah, he
the
just
void.
fades back, steps
then
into the blackness.
He gets up to where he was, and he's just like surrounded by reflections of himself. And we were like, "Wait, where the fuck
are
what
you?
the fuck
How
is
does-
this?"
how
and
does
then
that
Michael Dudikoff comes out, just has nothing. It's like he tricked him into walking into like a 3-walled little like phone booth in the nothingness, you know. And then he just like steps in. He's like, "Ha ha, blow you away." And we're just like, "What the fuck?
How?
What? Is that the second floor? It's just like an abyss." That's what the second floor is. It's just an abyss.
It is
There's
carpeted
just
though.
blackness and mirrors. It's the mirror verse.
It's also maybe they didn't really play this up, but they could have like had an angle where he's the janitor, so he knows the building by heart.
really well.
That'd have been
But
cool.
they did not ever play that up at all.
No, he
That's
knows how to
not-
creep in the women's bathroom though.
Oh
Yay! Wonderful.
That's so. At this point, this is when the Cyclops is loose.
The Cyclops.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
The
no.
SWAT team
Cyclops
shows up.
is
team
loose.
shows up.
No. The SWAT team's after the Cyclops gets.
No, they
impaired.
deploy it.
No, it's
Yeah.
just that German guy in
It's
the
the
van.
German dude in the van. You're
And
right.
the
You're right.
chief of police like set loose the
Oh.
Cyclops, which is
Oh,
just
that's right.
covered-
It's
Because
all,
later-
it stands for something that we never find out.
They don't say what-
Cyclops stands for something.
They never say
You
it.
can't have an acronym as long as Cyclops and not tell me what it fucking
Fucking
stands
says.
for.
I want
I
to guess
need
one
to
of
know
those
what
C's
that
is the
is.
computer.
Whatever the Y is, anybody who listens to this, please come up with an acronym for Cyclops. I could describe a cop drone that is
It
in
has
lieu of a SWAT
lasers
team.
and blows everything
The
up.
best part is in the
It takes
in
the laser
van,
shots
the
like a
control
champ.
van. It shows the digital like Tron Cyclops going through
Oh,
like
yeah.
a map of the building.
Oh, it looks
And
insane.
It looks so bad. It's
God.
awesome.
It's horrific.
It's great. I love it.
They blew the money on
Cyclops
Skybus.
is a floating sentry gun that pretty much does the will
It's
of
invincible.
yeah, it's invincible. You can't hurt it. The sentry gun on the building couldn't even hurt it.
Yeah, the one that
It
eliminated a man
eviscerated
from time.
time and space. He killed his own family.
Oh Jesus!
What? Where the fuck are we?
Now there's this. It's whole.
Well, they
it's,
go through the
it's-
tunnel,
it's
right?
Chase
The tunnel
scene-
thing happens.
Now it's chase scene
Yes.
with Cyclops. It's
go
same
in-
chase scene.
No.
No, they
It's
go into
first- the Cyclops is like going through the first couple floors, and they're
Right.
like, "My God, it's like a massacre." And while that's going on, he's getting chased by the country singer guy.
Right.
They go-
Oh,
That's when
right.
they run through the weird tunnel where Michael Dudikoff.
Oh
gets-
yeah, the
Where,
super
where it
weird
was like
lit
the
like.
frame rate slowed down because the
Yeah.
lights were flashing.
It was. Yeah, I was like. Yes, I was like, whoever lit this, fuck you. Like,
Also-
did the lighting for the building, not like lit the movie. Like, fuck you. What kind of? Why does that exist in the hallway?
Also,
why
yeah,
is there a
what
hallway full of
science is-
strobe
what
lights?
science is this? And then you get to the end. You get to the end of this hallway, and there's just this like podium with these like pyramids on it, and it says your hologram.
You don't know how to
your
use the 4
duplicators
pyramids,
are-
Bob. You idiot.
What?
So you don't know how to use the 4 pyramids?
Oh right. It says he walks by and it goes your duplicators are ready.
Yeah.
And it was like,
okay.
wait, was
I guess the
the
hallway was
tunnel
supposed to
was
duplicate
scanning
him.
you
Yeah.
to create your duplicators?
So what?
Not important.
Also,
And then he picks
doesn't
up
matter.
all these like these pyramid crystals.
and he runs away.
God,
and then,
this sounds so weird to
I know.
say.
But then immediately afterwards, the country singer guy runs through the same tunnel, gets to the other
I
side.
love it.
The
I love
computer
it.
goes, "Your duplicators are ready," and he turns around and just shoots
blasts them.
With a machine gun.
Like just shoots the ones like just absolutely eradicates
awesome.
them.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
then he gets into this hallway, and there's like a Scooby-Doo-esque scene of Michael Dudikoff running between
I
hallways.
wish there was like Benny
Yeah.
Hill music playing.
I
and
know.
it's like, like
Well, he keeps shooting. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then
that's when the
breastplate woman like shows up. I forget her name. I can't remember.
Grace Jones is
Yeah,
funny.
she shows up and she's like, "You idiot! It's a hologram, you fucking moron!" And then he stands there and he keeps looking at it, and it looks even more cartoonish than it did before.
Yeah, 'cause it's just
Yeah.
him just
And they're just constantly dodging, running, and then one comes,
Up
and then
and
Michael
slugs
Dudikoff
in the face.
That
just
was
runs around
fucking
the corner,
awesome.
fucking
That
punches
was-
him in
yeah,
the
that
mouth.
was great.
If there was one like
That shot was
legit
great.
moment of this movie, it is that. Just like
Yeah.
it's genius. Like him
Punch
just
Singer
like
guy gave up. He's like,
yeah, he waits until he's like they're all just the duplicates, and right when he puts his gun down, one of them then turns the corner real quick and and it's actually him, smashes him in the
into
face.
an elevator,
it's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, that's the elevator. thing
Yeah,
that
then he
happens.
gets in the elevator and they start fist fighting.
God, this is such a he beats the
No.
They fight in the elevator
Yeah, because then remember then the
Very
fight happens
briefly.
and then
very briefly,
and then
yeah.
it cuts to just the elevator going up and then you hear gunshots. You don't know who got shot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
The Cyclops sees him with the gun shooting at.
I think that's when he comes out the top because they're in the fist fight. It cuts to elevator going up. You hear shots. You don't know who got shot. Cut to some dialogue still. Do you have the password yet? No, that was like kind of weird. Didn't make any or was inconsequential. Then it cuts back to the elevator door opening and the shot is the bad guy's body falling out and you're like, oh, the hero did win.
You're right.
Now he has his gun. Ho ho ho.
Gotcha.
Right,
I forgot
right.
Yeah.
about that.
And then that's when they
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of send
he starts-
Cyclops after Michael Dudikoff, right?
No, he starts.
Now
he's
the
gonna go
Cyclops,
storm
yeah.
the lab, but the Cyclops sees him shooting a gun at nothing, just a hallway, and they're like, "My God, that guy's
That's the bad guy.
And then they look, God, that's when it starts chasing him, and then
See,
he gets
good guys
into
with guns, everybody.
he gets into a hallway.
The Cyclops will fucking
The
mistake you
Cyclops
for
is
a
like,
terrorist.
"You're a criminal," and he goes, "What?" And it's like, "You're gonna be under arrest." And he goes, "Man, fuck you." And then a bad guy
Shoots it.
steps around the corner and he shoots the guy like in the chest twice, but it also somehow damages the Cyclops. And
No,
the
I
cops
think
are like, "He is the bad guy. Get the SWAT team."
yeah.
Then a SWAT team shows up. They don't look like they're from the future at all, except
They
they
look-
have
They have little
brain
things on
implant
their
radios.
well, it's on the neck near their brainstem, which I guess instead of having regular radios, they have
No.
brain radio.
I don't know.
Whatever,
Who
it
cares?
doesn't matter.
They
They
have these
show
little
up.
implants on their neck.
they
Yeah.
go in the building. Fuck, man, like.
The
Oh.
elevator shit happens.
The Cyclops is like, "You're a bad guy," and he's like, "The bad guy's right on the other side of this door," and it's like, "No, it's you," and it starts chasing him, and he gets back in the
Yeah.
elevator.
It goes up.
It
right?
starts going up, and then the Cyclops blows up the elevator shaft, and it falls.
Dude, this whole scene is
It
so,
falls. It falls,
yeah.
and the
so
and the,
dumb, it's awesome.
the emergency brake for the elevator kicks in on like floor 5.
It stops him. And then you see the Cyclops like float underneath the elevator,
Start
tilt
slow.
up, and then starts laser cutting a hole in the
It takes
floor.
forever.
It's so slow.
Jesus
It's like a
Christ.
Swiss Army knife. The Cyclops too. It
The
like
Cyclops,
has. It's like
yeah.
kind of like R2. It has like every tool for every job.
It made me
apparently.
think of Johnny Five more, like an evil floating Johnny Five.
How does it is not like Johnny
Johnny Five
at
has a
all.
laser. The first
We
one.
must stop talking about this movie. We must move
No,
forward.
let's talk about it
Okay.
for another 5 hours, which we could.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And then it floats
So-
up into the elevator, and
This
Michael
scene
Dudikoff
makes no
unhook-
fucking sense.
It's so weird. He
He opened the so
he
I love this though a little bit. He opened the doors and he was gonna try to squeeze through, but the drone kept like pushing the bottom of
It
the
kept
elevator.
hitting it, gosh!
Yeah. It was like pinching his
like
arm in between the floor and the.
bullfighting the fucking elevator.
So it was like moving it up, and then he turned off the brake
Right
and,
as
he rolled towards the opening as it passed, so he could fall out on the 5th floor.
as the Cyclops went into the elevator.
The
Right.
geography of the action is impossible
We'll
to follow.
figure out, yeah.
It looks like he just rolls into
Nothing.
oblivion, and
Yeah.
then a tube explodes, and we
Yeah.
were like, hold on,
No idea how that works.
what the fuck was that? Then the Cyclops is gone, and the German guy in the van is like, "The Sentinel is done."
Look what
He
Zane's
goes,
done.
"Scheisse."
And then
Yeah,
the guy
he
goes,
goes,
"Man, that fucking Nick James, damn him." So he goes in with the SWAT team. As Nick gets to the lab, right?
And that's we're at the part where they hook Brion James' neck up to the thing.
Yeah, that's when he reveals because she's still like, well, okay, you're in now, but like I still don't understand how you're gonna transport this thing.
So he's like, well, there's a chip implanted in my brain.
So we're gonna put the virus into me.
That's going to help me accept the virus. She's like, it could kill you, and he's like, Risk is the
stepchild
of the bold or something.
He's at this point for the rest of the movie,
right.
every line out of him is like is supposed to be like a Tears in the Rain line.
Yes.
Like every single thing that comes out of his mouth.
He's becoming God.
So
Yeah. I did like that line though. She goes, "What do you want to be, God? Or are you playing? You're playing God?" And he goes, "After this, God will be lucky if I answered his phone call."
Then he gingerly lays himself on the floor.
Yeah, and then he just lays directly on the floor.
That's awesome.
In front of all those people he's holding
They don't
hostage
get like
without
I thought
a
they were gonna
weapon.
get like a Matrix Jack chair type thing.
No. Or just stand there.
Or just he just lays. I guess he lays down in some capacity because he thinks he's gonna fall over. He's gonna go totally.
So he
lays on the floor right there.
Jack him in the
Fill
green
him up
stuff.
with the green shit.
He starts. Then he goes dead, and then his eyes open, and they're green.
And they glow green,
twinkling
Talks
green.
weird.
Yeah,
Me.
I think he just
Yeah.
farted.
No.
So he's
both.
so he awakens, and now he is Computer Man.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So
Is
now
he
he-
Cyberjack? Is he now
His
the
name
Cyberjack?
isn't Jack, though.
I know.
We were hoping somebody's name would be Jack.
No.
Cyberjack.
That's what I thought when I saw it in the movie list. I was like, oh, who's Cyberjack?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No, that means like hack.
So now he's
Yeah.
got powers of some sort, and he's gonna hook himself to a fucking tower somewhere.
Yeah, now they have to leave the lab.
So he's
And
like,
go.
all right, we better get out of here.
But as he gets out, he carries a SWAT team, and he gives them the old green-eyed stare,
Yeah.
and takes over their brains because they have their talk boxes stuck
Right.
to their cerebellums or whatever. I don't fucking know.
What? I
It
don't
doesn't even
understand
matter. So now
why
he's got-
he can take over their bodies.
So now he's got a SWAT
Because
team
the
doing
virus is biological,
It's biological
as well as a
and-
computer virus.
the biological
it can
component
hack-
is just the carrier. They said
It
that.
can hack people's brains like they're a computer.
But now it's in his brain.
it
He can
doesn't
evolve it if he
explain how it
wants.
can go transfer
Sure,
like from his
fine.
mind to them.
I know he shoots it
Fair
out
enough.
of his
His
eyes
You're right.
into
Yeah.
their heads.
It doesn't explain
And so
anything.
now he has an so now he has
I
a SWAT
tried,
team
movie.
army.
I thought you said it was so smart.
You know, I'm starting to think it's not the case.
So
Okay.
anyway, this makes no sense either. Like somehow, Nassim gets out the front door
All
with
the
a
cops are there.
hostage before Michael Dudikoff or the SWAT team, as they both arrive at the front and they start arresting Michael Dudikoff. He's like, the bad guy's right out front.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, right. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
the dumbest gunfight on earth breaks
Because it's the
out.
SWAT team versus the cops.
Cops,
Yeah.
and you're just like, who cares? Good
And
God.
it takes so long to
They-
get through.
So Nassim
I think
drives away
even
in
like
a car.
Nassim
cop
drives
car.
away, and then Michael Dudikoff chases him. But then it cuts. They chase off, and then it just keeps showing the SWAT team and the cops fighting for another like 3
Yeah,
minutes.
here's a bunch of characters you don't even
So
care if
much.
they blow
Yeah.
up.
It doesn't
I
follow
hope
the
sentry
chase.
gun would just eviscerate all
I
of
know.
them.
Why wasn't that on again?
The sentry gun just like
Blow the hell.
self-destruct, and the building just like gets like poltergeist, just gets sucked into the sentry gun. That's it. It's gone forever.
Then none of this ever happened.
Then there's a car chase, sort of, but not really. Not at all, actually. They're just two people.
It's not as
talking
much
in a
effort
car.
as the motorcycle chase. That's for sure.
Nope. Then they're at some sort of tower where Nassim is gonna like upload himself
to
to the world.
He gives a speech about becoming.
The one. And
Well, don't
God,
forget he
and
turns
I'm
on the propaganda
Trinity.
program.
Yeah, he turns
Oh,
on
the
the
global
very
propaganda
necessary
programming.
global propaganda that somebody else had to write.
Yeah,
Not him.
Like he goes to this studio place or whatever, and he hits a button on it that then the screen pops up and it says like global propaganda
Yeah, he didn't
system
green
ready.
He didn't like green laser that.
No, this
it
place
just was there
already had a propaganda. There's your goddamn. There's your social commentary from this movie. The propaganda system was already installed.
The government had it there.
It was already there, man.
message.
He was just using it.
The scene was the good guy. Don't you see?
He wasn't.
Oh, yeah. There's
He
none of
looked
that.
too weird. To be
He
a
starts
good guy.
he gives a speech that has a bunch of biblical
Tears in the Rain.
iconography in it, and Tears in the Rain.
And then Dudikoff shows up, and
It's
good
it's a
God.
replay of the opening scene. He gets her,
and it's just as boring, except he shoots him.
except
in
he
the head.
shoots him at the end of this movie. After all this,
He
the
shoots him
bad
in the
guy
head.
gets the green shit into his body and almost becomes God. And how does it end? He gets a bullet, a normal fucking
No, that's
bullet.
well. That
in the
because
head.
now,
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then all the green shit
It
shoots out of his
shoots
body.
out of
with
his
the
body.
computer, and she's like, "I can do something about it, but it's going to take some time." And they start noticing the
she wrote
giant
she wrote like a
projection
failsafe
screens.
program or something.
Yeah, but she has to download it over the internet.
Yeah.
And then the
God damn
the like projection of what the computer has on it starts to look like Nassim.
Yeah.
And he starts saying even more shit like, "I am the one, I am
Yeah.
the Trinity.
Bow
and you
down
will
before me."
worship
and it's
me."
on every screen apparently in the world.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Long live the new flesh.
Yeah.
But then her program starts running and he screams. I thought all of that looked really cool.
It actually did.
That was-
The visual of his face and
Yeah.
stuff was
no,
pretty
that was
cool
actually
looking.
pretty good.
It looked
It was
really
actually
cool.
a little creepy.
Yeah, it did. It was.
Yeah.
And then
You know why? Because it kind of looked like Donald Trump.
it did at first.
It
If
invoked a
Trump
reaction
insisted
in me.
on that program, whatever that effects program was, is how he talked in public.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
it was pretty creepy.
He said crazier shit, so whatever. It's like, whatever.
That's when the chief of police and a random police officer show up. And he goes, "Hey, Nick, look, when I'm wrong, and I was wrong. You're good, man.
Nick
You're
fucking
great."
slugs.
Yeah.
And what does he throw at him? Is it like
I
a
guess
badge and
I
a
think
gun?
it was his badge. It was
I
his
think it was a
badge.
badge
Yeah.
and a gun.
It was like
It's
it was
been
a-
years.
It was a housing for a badge. That's what I think it was. It was
So he throws
right.
it to him,
Yeah.
and then
Like
he
when you
throws it right,
pop open and
yeah,
he throws it to him and then he throws it back.
and then slugs him.
punches him.
Yeah,
right
and then
in
he
the mouth.
says some line about how like I'll tell you when I'm whatever. And when
And then the cop who we don't care about,
Some
is like,
random cop-
Hey, welcome back.
yeah, hey Nick, it's good. She turns around and she like looks him in the eyes like they've known each other like forever, and she's just like it's good to have you back or welcome back. And it was just like, did he ever agree
Who are
to
you?
be
He
a
just
cop
threw it back
again,
and
or
punched
like
him in the mouth. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
a cop right now.
and like he doesn't know her at all. If I was her, I'd been like,
I was just saying,
the last thing I would have done
they
after that
started
would be try to
laughing.
fucking talk to him. Now I'd have been like, this guy's
they
pissed
should have
off.
just shook hands.
He just hit the fucking police chief right in the face and told him to fuck off. Like, well, I'm not gonna.
yeah.
Not,
No, they should have shook hands. They both start laughing. Like,
And then that's it.
No, they
No.
go outside the front of the building, and he starts talking to Alex, and he's like, "So, what do you want to do now?" And then it's them on a sky bus, except the sky bus is like flying in like as high as a plane, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just over
it's
clouds.
just it's over clouds.
just over clouds.
And they're talking about baseball.
Because there's the through line where he kept listening.
He's always listening
his
to the
radio
baseball
gets
game.
destroyed in the elevator. And he goes, "Oh, it destroyed my radio."
He was listening
And
to
then
baseball
yeah,
all
the credits
time.
roll and Cyberjack.
Jesus Christ, man!
That's Cyberjack.
Not the worst movie we've ever watched, but
No, but the middle.
the middle is
It was
a slog
yeah.
if there ever was
Well,
a
and-
slog.
I
God.
I had told Bob, I don't know if I said it to you, but I told Bob before you got there, like I picked this movie because I wanted one that like at least had a budget and like I wanted anything that was a failure on it to like be totally their fault.
And it was the costume.
I didn't want to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
some movie that had like
It was
$200
the
then pick
decisions, not the
make
production.
fun of it.
The production
Yeah.
value was good. It was shot fine.
everything that was a mistake in
Yeah.
this is absolutely their fallibility. Like it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
They
It's
just
not
made
because they
it
didn't
look
have the money.
insane.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, the effects are honestly like the green laser lightning effects were fine.
Yeah.
Everything was like pretty good for this kind of movie.
Yep.
So it was their choices that just made it odd.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The whole movie just has this giant weird feeling,
And it
the
wants to
whole
be at
time.
least 4 other movies.
I think that's why it's weird.
Yeah.
Because you never feel settled into it.
No.
It's not. It's
Once
not
again,
like,
you're breaking the golden rule of sci-fi. Like it's the easiest part of sci-fi.
It's not like timeless in like the sense you would think. It's like timeless in the sense of like
It never gives us
you
it never
can't-
gives us a time and a place.
It's,
Like
no, it's
whatever
all
that
time.
might mean.
I feel like if we had seen more of this world, we would have seen like coach and buggies and like, you know what I mean, like weird
That's
steampunk
ridiculous.
things, and like the world was just fucked. Or
There was
something.
definitely no
Like-
agreed upon aesthetic.
Yeah.
There's like dinosaurs with saddles walking down.
What if,
Like,
what
what
if at the beginning it was
fuck?
like you are entering the computer region, you are entering the cyber region. This is where like they do cyber shit, and there's like other regions of this world beyond like a laser gate.
That
It's
would have
just,
made
like,
if this movie was like crossed with Theodore Rex, then I would have liked it more.
That was
There's just dinosaurs,
Yeah.
sentient, like pizza eating dinosaurs. I would have been down.
But yeah, so then my final point, I'll leave it at this. The whole time, the main character of Nick does nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, he shoots
Because his-
people, but it
but
doesn't.
his
Pretty sure
shooting
Cyclops
people-
could have fixed everything.
His
Oh,
shooting,
hell yeah.
Cyclops could have fixed everything.
But all of Nick
Would've
shooting the
blown them all
henchmen and
out.
stuff, the henchmen dying and stuff, never actually slowed down the
virus
villain's
stuff.
progress.
No,
because
it
what was
didn't.
really slowing down the villain's progress was
the code.
was Alexandra doing the code.
Yeah.
So him shooting these people was not holding anything up.
No.
So he still got the virus at the same time he would have if Nick didn't shoot
He
anybody up.
distracted Cyclops from finishing the job.
Yeah, from like going in there and
Cyclops
killing
would've
all of
gotten
those.
to Nassim and stopped
Would
the
have cut a hole
ending.
through
Right
those
there.
doors and
Dude,
then
and
blown them
fucking
away.
destroyed everyone who wasn't a scientist. He would have like turned
But
them
it's-
into goo.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Nick made things worse.
And then once
You know, he didn't
once
even
everything
signal the police when they were there.
No.
once everything
he didn't.
happens and they escape with it because of him, then Alex is the one who saves the day again.
Yeah.
Because she's got the thing to destroy the code.
He
doesn't-
is not a hero by any means.
No,
He's
he
not John
sucks.
McClane.
He doesn't do anything.
No, he
Dude, he
sucks.
doesn't do any. It's like they set up scenes from Die Hard that are awesome and iconic, and then don't do the part that's iconic.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the cops are outside and he's stuck behind the window. Is he going to throw the fucking henchman through the window?
No, he's trying to turn off the hologram by rewiring a computer
he's-
on the 5th floor.
He's going to
Like,
play mirror tricks in a fucking abyss hole.
Yeah, what are you
hallway.
doing?
What the? Come on, man.
God
so,
damn
would you
it.
recommend people watch this?
I think you could have fun with it.
You could definitely have.
It's
some
not the
fun.
worst. It's fun. The effects are
you
fun.
wanna
It was
feel
probably,
like-
I think the performance. I think Brion James is having a blast.
It's like
Yeah.
time travel vertigo.
I think
if
you
wanna
could have fun
experience
with
that.
some friends, but I think there's better movies to have fun with
Yeah.
than this one.
And that's like the response right there. It's like,
It's a shame. I like Brion James.
yeah. I don't know if I think it's Brion, but
Is it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. It could be if it's Brian. I'm sorry, I pronounced your name. He's dead, but I'm sorry. I pronounced his
find
name
out.
wrong so many times. All right, well, Nick, thanks for
Hey,
doing it again.
anytime.
I'm pretty sure this episode didn't delete itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? We should recommend everybody go on YouTube, type in Shy Boys
Oh yeah.
IRL.
Oh, yeah.
That was our
and
pre-set
watch
up for
that.
this.
Yeah, our pre-show was Shy Boys.
So watch that. Watch that.
watch
Documentary
that
about
and-
incels.
If
God.
you watch that, then Cyberjack will make you happy.
Yeah.
Cyberjack without Shy Boys, I don't know. But Cyberjack with Cyberjack was like a relief.
Yeah.
Shy
I'm
Boys
glad
is
you brought
pretty-
it back up at
Yeah.
the end of the night.
Yep.
I'm gonna have nightmares
Never
about that
forget.
shit.
I'm not even going to describe what Shy Boys is.
Just-
you just
yeah,
need
just
to
go for
watch
it.
it. So,
Yeah. I know John Bennett recommends it.
Mm-hmm.
John is
Bennett
a
loved it. He
huge
said
fan of Shy
it
Boys.
changed
Yeah,
his
loves it.
life.
Yeah, he
And
really
Nick
does.
recommends making sure to pay attention to how the one guy holds things with his
With
fingers.
his big creepy ass fingers.
So in summation, maybe watch Cyberjack. Definitely watch Shy Boys. All right. Bye.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.